past your bedtime.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WTF we're reading. Oh boy, I can't believe we're here again. Well, it's the good old same old Roman Fox fanfic, and it's even more because I don't know what to tell you guys, but I'm not excited for what's going to come now. So, let me first welcome my guest. Where's my co-host, Latvian Dragon?
Sveiki visiem.
Sveiki. And also, we got a new addition today. Please welcome from the chat and someone I know over and from Dun's stream, the Holy Ninja.
Why did he make 34 chapters of this?
Oh, by the way, fun fact, everybody, I looked into his rewrite. It's no better. In fact, that's the one where he gives them World War I era weaponry. But that's how you make your story better. Get them even better guns. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least I found this cool, somewhat cool image of a Roman soldier that looks like a Naruto character.
Yeah, honestly, it looks better. It looks way better.
You know, I just now have like a better fanfic idea. Like Roman Fox should be like a name about like the Ninth Legion being lost in the world of Naruto, and they have to adapt to the rules of Naruto to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Training Roman soldiers to be ninjas.
Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah.
And by the way, I haven't even read anything of Naruto. I only seen clips of the show from YouTube, and like I have like the barest understanding of Naruto.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, me too.
You still managed to make a better fanfic than this guy ever will. Trust me, if you want to really get to this, actually, I guess I'll entertain you a lot with the Dishonored fanfic when that time comes, because it is not going to be. It's not going to be fun at all.
Also, Alactavian Dragon, have you looked at all the fanfics that he wrote?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
looking.
then we could play a game, a special game about you have to guess the crossover that the fanfic is about.
Okay.
So we're going to give one hint: sci-fi.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Nope. Guess again.
Star
Trek. Give you 3.
Nope. Keep guessing. I'll give you another hint. It also has a fantasy counterpart. It's named after a weapon.
Named after a weapon. Gundam.
No.
Fuck.
Warhammer 40K. That's one of them. Then here's the other one. Here's the hint for the other one.
Ponies.
I would have just said crazy fandoms.
That's very proper.
My Little Pony.
Yes. And, okay, who's the main character?
Twilight Sparkle?
No, I'll give you a hint. Movies.
Movies. Movies. What was that? Luke Skywalker? Sorry. Shit.
No, My Little Pony. So, here's the color scheme. Red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Oh my god, you're going to make him look up My Little Pony Red and Yellow.
Red and yellow. Movie. Red and yellow.
It's a sunset shimmer.
Sunset shimmer.
Like the yes, Dr. Crow. We're reading right now. I'm just playing a little game with Dragon about all the other crazy fanfics that he wrote. Okay, here's the title of one of them: American Fox.
American.
It's a 3-way crossover.
Free way of.
Well, guess when the fox in a tile.
So probably there's gonna be Naruto in it.
Yes, Naruto is one of them.
I would love to put American Dragon, but that would be too obvious. Yes.
All right. The other character, his name is Kurama. So I'm going to assume that is from Yu Yu Hakusho. But the third one, here's the description. Naruto and Kurama have ended up in the late 1800s America. There, Naruto is founded by Teddy Theodore Roosevelt and became his warrior. Now, years later, Naruto becomes a government agent along with Kurama in protecting their new home against threats from other worlds.
Oh, Kurama is actually a character in Naruto. It's the Ninetales Fox.
Oh, okay. So okay.
It's just Naruto and a bunch of other crossovers. That's why it says anime X-overs instead of a specific one. It's indicating that it's multiple crossovers.
Okay. Also, you will notice a common theme in his fanfics that Sunset Shimmer is gonna cross over to other worlds, but guess what she does every time, almost every single time?
What?
She carries an arm of evil match monster girls.
Wow.
Like, look, there's My Hero Sunset, which is My Hero Academia. Sunset ends up in My Hero Academia, and she isn't alone thanks to taking a magical orb that holds monster girls within it. One Punch Monster Girls. After jumping through the mirror, Sunset ends up in the world of One Punch Man, and she isn't alone, as she stole a magical orb that held the monster girl race that Celestia sealed away centuries ago, becoming the queen of all monster girls in a world of heroes who kill monsters.
This is some Bleed Man level.
Okay, just one more before we have to do the torture. One Piece Superwoman.
Okay.
There are layers of silliness in this one. So
a female black superwoman ends up raised in a One Piece world. Now Monkey D vampires setting sail to catch up with their little brother Luffy and picking up women on the way. Harem. Oh my god, we broke him.
Oh yes, we already broke him.
Dude needs to get laid.
He clearly needs to have a woman in his life, or if he's just dating a woman, just marry her already and have kids.
That's not counting for the fact of how Dishonored Fox ends. It's just what the heck. And it's like apparently elemental nations are bad guys because Dunwall's invading their homeland and they're destroying a colony, destroying supply line colonies. Yeah, because you're invading. You're not doing this peacefully. You're doing it by force. Anyways, let's read, shall we?
So, where did we last left off? Okay.
Well, where we left off, quote-unquote reality ensued. BA confirmed that now energy can be destroyed. Datara and Sasori have been killed because, you know, he decided that the ninjas were too powerful for his fanfic, so he had to make them do a speed jutsu if they wanted to become super fast and have great reflexes. And then he also manages to grossly oversimplify military tactics and logic by saying that by having a character straight up said, we abandon skill. You just need lots of troopers.
About that. That is dumb on so many levels because it depends on the terrain, right? In the Middle East, for example, in the ancient Mesopotamia area, or the Middle East, as it is now known, yeah, the numbers gives you a huge advantage because the way battles are fought is that you're trying to outmaneuver the opponent. So if you had more guys, you can spread out your battle line, right?
Now,
So
here's where
that
the problem
you
comes
can
in.
flank them. The problem is that not all
One.
terrain and also the armor quality can be varied too. So if the opposing army has a smaller number of you, but they're have more heavily armored and more well trained than your side, they have a huge advantage because they will not break.
Yeah.
Morale is the reason why battles are won and lost, and if you don't break, you will have. In fact, it's during the actual fighting that casualties are at its minimum. It's once a side breaks and starts running away where the casualties of battle spikes.
Yeah, because the thing is, he who breaks first loses.
Yeah. Now you can do tactical retreats, and that's like part of. But the point of tactical retreat is that you're retreating, you're kind of withdrawing from the battle, but you're doing it in such a manner that you won't lose guys, as much guys as it would have been if everyone just start hightailing it out of there.
Not at all. He says, like, well, if you lose an officer, they just replace a new one. Simple as that. It's like, no, you need to understand. Replacing an officer is very, very, very careful. Because, number one, an officer is there to keep up the morale. If the troops break, then you might as well have given up. And if the officer dies, the entire troop's going to be sent to a panic. Because, oh crap, the officer's dead, what do we do now? It's like, and then the next officer, he's probably not going to know what to do because he wasn't prepared for this kind of a situation. Like, yeah, he may be prepared to lead, but all of a sudden, he now has to lead all these troops, and who knows how much experience he's had leading troops in the field of battle. Well, there's also the fact if he's shaken up, then everyone else is going to be shaken up because the officer's not calm, and neither are they.
Yeah, and like the officer are usually the most experienced warriors in a squad, right? And once you lose that officer, you're not just losing a guy, you're losing experience in how they fight and how like they're affected. When you are a career soldier, right, you will gain skills. Your skills get over time gets honed if you're in lots and lots of wars and fights. Like the amount of skills you have and the amount of knowledge you have to in order to survive in that situation will also help the other people in your squad survives. If you die, the squad loses that experience, and also like they just lose that experience and thus lose their effectiveness.
It's more spirits, like, take these Spartans, for example. 300 Spartans fought off an entire army. Because, why? They were well-trained, they were well-skilled, and they had a lot of experience underneath their belts. They weren't peasants that were sent to fight a giant army.
And also, they picked a very strategically viable place to negate the numbers advantage.
It was in a very large space, so they couldn't bring in everybody. They would have to go through a single passageway, and they will have to face their spears, meaning that more of them will die by the time they get there.
Like, yeah, even just them, like, you know, shooting waves of arrows. Like, yeah, it's a very effective tactics against, like, you know, spearmen and stuff, but it's going to take a while, and you may actually run out of ammo before you could finish them off. And plus, like, when the Persians only used the spamming arrow strategy was after they outflanked them and tried to fight them against it, and they were already weakened from 3 days of straight up fighting.
But they still kept marching on.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to this fanfic.
Yep. We don't change long enough. Let's get going now, shall we? Also, remember, according to him, the Spartans had their entire fighting force wiped out because they dedicated all their troops to the army. It was like 500. I was like, no, it was a lot more than that. But just know that 300 were more than enough.
Yeah.
Like 300 did die, but all the persons did. Like, I'm gonna beat this in. There's also the fact of the matter is apply lines. Having large numbers don't mean anything if you can't apply that.
Uh-huh.
Like, army marches on its stomach, as Napoleon would say. And we all know how his Russian campaign went when supplies ran out.
Yeah, and also, we're dealing with ninjas here. You know what ninjas are? The number one thing about ninjas that gives them a huge advantage over the Romans in a war situation?
Assassination, they are trained in tactics to kill off the enemy faster.
Well, it's not their assassins. They're actually more like spies and espionage agents.
Yeah.
Being a ninja was more of like your job, your task as quote unquote a ninja. Samurai and peasants can be both. It's basically whoever Feudal Wars picks. You're basically either a spy, a saboteur, and occasionally an assassin. So guess what gets affected with those tactics? Supply lines.
It's destroy one of their supply depots. Next thing you know, they're going to be, and especially if you time it right and you do it right as winter hits, they're going to be screwed.
Yeah, all they need to do is, assuming that like the Roman army, right? This mythical Roman army that has like guns and stuff, goes further inland, like, they're invading from the sea. So the farther they were going to go in, all you need to do, the ninjas have to do, is go to their warships, infiltrate the warships, use one of them to blow up the rest, and thus now they not very much reinforcements, unless these very soon Romans have a way of communicating back to the fatherland.
How did it?
Apparently, it's established that they have radios.
They have radios.
So
in Civil War era tech.
Mind you, we were still using telegraphs for a very long time. Radios were not very long range.
Yeah, we just discovered the telegraph during, like, we either just discovered it or it was or it hasn't been discovered yet, the telegraph.
No, I don't think it was discovered yet. It took quite a while. It took to World War I before the long-range telegraphs were made. Telegraph. When was the telegraph constructed? Telegraphy. Here it is. Okay. More specifically, the electrical telegraph. It was... the electrical telegraph between 1840 and until the mid-20th century. So yeah, they should have the telegraphs if this was more Civil War tech. Radios were not.
But it wasn't like... It wasn't coming from the Union Army. I don't remember hearing about the Union Army and the Confederates carrying wire and like rolling them out, like in what becomes more common in World War I.
Remember, if you have proper communication, its reinforcing becomes easier. Because they know where you exactly are, and they know exactly what to pack for the journey.
Yeah, and also, we're just talking about if we're treating the factions realistically, right? And plus, like these, if we treat the Naruto world more realistically, the villages would not just have ninjas.
They also have what they're called, ashigarus.
Yeah, Ashigarus, and maybe even at this point, like if we're doing a world building more like, okay, we're gonna change the Naruto world to be more realistic. Yeah, there would be daimyos and samurai.
Yeah, and there are samurai in the Naruto world, and they are deadly effective. They use chakra to enhance their blades to cut through a lot of things. They're not something to be messed around with. Says, assuming we're treating Naruto more realistically, they would have common foot soldiers.
Yeah, and even heck, if we're gonna go with the Japanese, the samurai aesthetics, even though they have modern clothes too, they would have guns.
Yeah,
they would totally have guns because during the era where the mythical era of like samurais and ninjas, they had a gun. And the samurai actually, as opposed to common belief, don't care about, it's dishonorable to use a gun.
Dishonorable.
Dishonorable.
Yeah. it's fun and fantasy, but in real, like if you're operating by real logic, no, even they recognize that a gun was good.
Yeah, it's like, and heck, if we're gonna apply it with Naruto, you know, the chakra stuff, like just imagine like a Naruto character using that
Oh,
old
wow.
flintlock thing or like a
Matchlock.
gun, and
Jesus.
Matchlock's
and
an
use
auto
chakra to enhance the bullets.
And then, okay, all right.
Yeah.
We went way too long, didn't we?
Yes, we did, but
Hey,
it's
this is fun, okay? Talking about deconstructing this, guys, because the actual fanfic.
Oh, yeah, agree.
the actual fanfic's awful, so we're coming up with ways why it's awful and how we can do it better.
Yeah,
you know what? At this point, I actually would probably, you know what? I am gonna have to do my own take on this, like, which means I actually probably have to read the manga.
Well, just you can ask me, and I'll inform you of some of the world basics. You can also go to the wiki. Just be careful.
Well, here's the thing. I do want to read Naruto at some point. It's more of like, yeah, it's something I want to read.
Okay, read part 1 and completely ditch part 2. No, but like part 2 ditched a lot of the world building. It really destroyed its own world building in part 2.
Yeah, what's so funny actually is my best friend who survived.
Well, why does it? I haven't listened so far. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we need to read just to show.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Chapter 8. Wait, no, sorry. Hang on. Which chapter is this?
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8. An old foe.
Yep. An old foe. Drake stood in his office as he saw with Governor Crocker.
Crocker. That's what I think of Rome. I think Crocker.
The most stereotypical American name.
It's not even it's
It's Crockett. Crockett is American. Crocker sounds more like England or Australia.
This is going to be up for a while. Crocker is just Cracker without the A. Wise Wolf 2021.
Yes.
So
I'm assuming this governor is pasty white.
Oh no, I don't know much, but it is a she.
Yeah.
Crocker is a girl's name. What?
Yes. Governor Crocker's a girl.
Now I'm thinking of Zeta Gundam. I haven't seen it, but the most popular meme about that Gundam show is Camille is trying to kill somebody because he told somebody that he's a girl. Because the whole joke about Zeta Gundam is Camille, the main character, starts a whole war because one of the bad guys says that Camille's is a girl's name. That's the joke. There's more to it than that, because Gundam is as a series has some very interesting complexities to it, but that's the joke.
Yeah. It's like
Art.
I don't know what was that black chick's name in Star Trek Discovery. She had a
I don't know. I
name.
don't watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
Michael Burnham.
Yeah, Michael Burnham. A word that doesn't fit a female at all.
Wait, Michael Burnham was the name of a female character in Star Trek.
Yes.
Michael, not
Yes.
Michaela.
Yes.
Because the writers are actually because the writers don't know English.
Also, Michael is she is the stepsister of Spock.
Oh,
Is this a transgender?
No. What? Just
I
let's
said
just
she.
let's just continue.
Okay.
For
They're with Frank the Druid, who's been researching the scrolls with jutsus on them that Gatuo had in his safe. From what he can see, his magic is far more powerful than any jutsu. It just takes longer for him to use it. He is helped in his research by Zabuza and Haku. Zabuza is completely healed thanks to Frank's healing his body. Okay, more bullcrap here. So they purposely nerf. They basically said that the druid magic is stronger, but it takes longer. what does that mean? Like, do they put a timer? Like, is this like a? Could they like? Come on, story 101 when it comes to like anime or manga stuff. When you don't say it just takes longer, you give it a specific time, like specific number of seconds, and so no matter how like long it takes for the story for it to happen, people know there's an actual number,
Yeah,
right?
like
There's a joke about anime about how anime seconds are longer than real
minutes.
seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like 2 seconds have passed. 3 minutes. Here. Yeah, like for example, in Danmachi, the more powerful the spell is, the longer it will take the chance to cast it. The longer the chant is. It's like the longer the chant is, the more powerful the spell is.
All right.
So,
Okay.
but- Yeah, and plus this is just like, oh yeah, our Druids are better than these Narutos. Is this supposed to be? I know apparently he claims this is a deconstruction of Naruto.
Which already sounds pretentious as fuck.
This is not how you do deconstruction. This is basically saying I hate Naruto, even though I wrote tons of fanfics about Naruto.
Yeah.
it's like how deconstruction work is that you criticize the elements that are stupid, but then highlight the good parts about them and why you like it in the first place.
Or you just point out the flaws in like a character, or like you can see sometimes you can just set a character in a totally different setting, or you switch a character's morality.
It's like that's a deconstruction. You point out the flaws, but you highlight the good stuff about it.
Yeah. Okay.
A bad example of a deconstruction is The Boys. The comics are awful, and even more so.
Thank the Lord. Yes, I only read the first volume of The Boys, and I hate it. Like Garth Ennis, I feel like he could do all of his stuff without as much. He can do all the stuff he can tell without going over the top on it. Like, it seems like he wants to copy the works of Gona Guy or like a bunch of Japanese authors, but he doesn't know squat about how to do them right.
It's like, I'm like, oh, this is deconstruction on a typical superhero, so let's have them all act like psychopaths. That makes complete total sense.
Yeah, it's not like, God damn it! It's like it's basically a deconstruction of a It's like a deconstruction of Watchmen as well.
Because like, at least Watchmen made sense because there were some heroes that were genuine psychopaths.
Yeah, like I have not read Watchmen. I have not read the graphic novel. I have no interest, but I am gonna respect Watchmen. That Watchmen is really the best example of a superhero deconstruction.
Yeah,
I will say this as a person out of respect for how it affects the genre. It does lead into the greater industry to constantly pursue deconstruction, and that's a huge flaw. But it's not because of
The
Watchmen's as a work; it's more of the popularity of it.
Yeah.
all right.
So it's like our problem. Like when it comes down to it, a good deconstruction is something that still respects the work itself, but also criticizes it. It's not something that utterly destroys it from the foundation. And then just says, deal with it. That's how it really is. Like,
yeah, okay. Now, finally, I could read.
yep.
The demon beasts are made of pure energy and cannot be killed, but only be contained. Just remove the B and it sounds so correct. And why the hell you put? What the fuck were those again? No, he didn't put a point. He put it's whatever.
Comma. Yeah.
Comma.
Also, who is Zabuza? Is that a Naruto character?
Yep. Naruto character. He's
Okay.
One of the 7 demon swordsmen of the mist. He carries around a huge screw you sword that heals himself from the iron within the blood of his enemies.
Because Zabuza is a funny name. I wish it was a fanfic name just to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Zabuza, the Crack Brothers.
Okay, reminds me of the Typhon and his mates. Akinda. Akinda.
Akadun? What the frick did he miss? Hold on.
Akinda.
Okay,
Echidna.
No, Knuckles the Akinda.
Echidna.
yeah, the Akinda.
Unlike their children, they die after remains would fade away, only for them to reappear later, Crocker said. Those were your tail beasts? Haku again with the ask. It's
Wait, I thought
ask.
it's supposed to be, these Romans are supposed to be more historical, like more realistic than the Naruto guys. Then why are they bringing up? So are they basically saying that? Oh yeah, these Romans also fought against mythology.
Yeah, they did. They even
So
have
why?
Kratos.
Okay. If that is true, right? Why did the author go so far as to create this fictionalized history and like recreate the Romans with modern weaponry and just have the Roman army with the Greek gods, with their gods fighting in the Naruto world?
There is no gods. We're talking about there is no gods, but yeah, apparently Kratos managed to live somehow. And also get this, they wiped out the Norse.
They wiped out the Norse, huh?
Yeah.
They wiped out the Norse. Did they wipe out the Russians? Did they wipe out the Mongolians? Apparently they're making peace with China and Japan.
Well, did they?
No,
Did
just
they
China.
wipe out the Baltic states?
Like remember, apparently the whole continent is not important.
Or like India. Like that's also like in world history for until the 1700s, the biggest places of production, if you want to get trade and get the countries that were always economically on top, was India and China, because they had a lot of people and used a lot of industry.
Yeah, it's like,
and the Romans did not like conquer the whole Middle East, conquer the Alexandrian Empire, or go south in Africa. Like okay, now I have to bring up the question: where are the Muslims? Did they wipe out the Muslims? Even though the Muslims kind of need Christianity to kind of appear, because
Wait,
Islam is the youngest of the three Abrahamic religions.
Yeah, and plus, like, Islam is technically also spawned from a heresy in Christianity. I don't have the source in my head, so I could be wrong on that, but there has been, Islam has at least been hugely influenced by Christianity and Judaism.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
But that's like, what happened? It's like, with goods, you would think that the Romans would just say, okay, that we have this tool that nobody's apparently countering ours against, let's just conquer the whole world while we're at it.
Yeah, like, clearly our superior tactics, like, nobody had, these guys are so stupid not to defeat our tactics and our weaponry. Like, we've been around for, what, a couple hundred years at this point? So, yeah, let's just conquer the world. Let's just go overseas. Like, which, by the way, how did they develop steamboats without a desire to go overseas? Like, that's why they built why ship production kind of increased, so that they can cross over to potentially hit China, and then end up not knowing that there's like two huge continents in between Europe and China.
Because they thought the world was actually flat.
Well, actually, by the time of Christopher Columbus, they actually believed it was round. That's why Christopher Columbus proposed going straight across. Yeah. Nobody knew, other than some Vikings.
They found
North America, and South America,
which they called North American Vinland.
Yeah, but and it's Vinland is like up in like Canada, so they didn't even know about South America or Central America. So making fun of Christopher Columbus being a complete idiot is like, if you were there at the time, you didn't know there was two huge continents, and you come across land and you thought, oh, this is part of Asia.
Well, yeah, it's like you'd be confused too. You had no idea this was even possible.
Like for nearly 1,500 years after the birth of Christ, so even more so, added more, We didn't know 3 huge continents exist. Technically 4 if we count Antarctica. That is crazy.
It's mind-boggling.
So, like, blaming people for being that stupid about, like, thinking they're stupid because they didn't know about 4 continents in the world?
Well, actually, no, just 3. Just the 3. Oh, no, sorry, I forgot. Oceania. Oceania exists.
Yeah, Australia. Australia's a thing.
But, well, we just pretend, well, as you all know, there is no Australia. It's just a landfill of animals and peoples there.
It's basically a post-apocalypse wasteland.
Oh, everyone lives there casually, but the environment's trying to kill them on every occasion.
That's why Shad lives there. It's because we all know that Shad is the most Chad of all YouTubers.
Yes. With the Nart here speaking in the form of Buddhism, if you have Buddhism in Hidden Leaf Village. Well, that's not important here.
Oh yeah. If they don't have that aspect, if we're gonna bring in the Buddha, then it's like, yeah, Buddha is close to Jesus in terms of power level.
Yeah, if we all are correctly, Japanese belief was it very much did change a lot. It was, if correctly, it was Buddhism, then it was also Shinto, which was their own religion, and then there was Christianity.
No, not Christian. So, the main influence in Japanese stuff is Shintoism is like, the mainline thing. Buddhism came in, and along with Confucianism, Christianity only is like less than 1% of the population of Japan.
Yeah, but it had like very minor influence.
Super minor, like mainly because of during the Tokugawa period, they basically tried to stamp out Christianity on it as, fear about foreign powers. Like, it was an anti-foreign campaign. And the only Christians that lived in it were in like little communities that were in the middle of nowhere, isolated from the rest of Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Australia's just a prison the size of a country, and they tricked people into living as a country.
Well,
considering Australia's origins, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it begins
it was a penal colony.
A penal colony of what? Is it? So, okay, whatever.
It's a penal colony. They sent people there because they're prisoners.
Yes. And while you're at just overgrown animals, ours were real monsters. Though there were some few overgrown animals, though they had different heads. Oh, whatever.
Wow, why did it trivialize the tail beast as just being, yours are just overgrown animals? We had actual demons.
Then again, we managed to either contain them or kill them.
Which explains, which then brings into question, penal colony, the British Empire. Yeah. I gotta let Ninja about the entire fact that they killed all the demons in their land. Because, it's simple. Just put them in a deep, deep hole and then shoot at them with cannons. Problem solved. And if that didn't work, just seal them again, break the statue apart to pieces, and then throw them to the bottom of the ocean.
But as long as Typhon and Echidna, is that a real Roman deity that exists? Echidna.
I don't think so.
Typhon sounds something Roman, or at least Greek.
Oh, hang on. Typhon and Echidna. Okay, that's Greek.
Greek. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Roman did steal from Greece.
Well, when it comes to their myth, they pretty much copy pasted it. It's like, this is like, hey, can I borrow your homework? Yeah, sure. Just make sure you change it so it looks unique. No.
Are we talking about Japan in terms of how they treat other world's religions, or is part of the fanfic?
By the way, Ninja. Remember when I told you how they took care of their demons?
Yes. Yes, they just like put them all in a barrel somehow.
No, what they did was that they put them in a statue, put that statue in a deep hole, unseal them, and then shoot at them with cannons.
That makes little sense, because why not just simply seal them and Just seal them and hide them away. That's
Well,
it.
also they did is that when they sealed them, they also broke the statue and then threw the pieces into the ocean.
So wait, okay, why not just wouldn't that unseal the demons? Like
apparently not. The statue needs to be whole in order for them to be unsealed.
that makes no sense because you're dealing with spirits. The demons are spirits primarily.
Hey, hey, so my computer is whole, right? Let me break it. There, it's fixed.
Yes, let's just use the old wrench method. Whack it.
It's like, this thing is not durable enough. You take, yeah. I don't know. I don't like the fact that I put this in a statue. Let's break that statue. Done. No, it can't be unsealed.
Like, couldn't they make clearly these guys are like Mary Sue, so couldn't they make a method where they use the demon as like power sources or like special things using their special sealing demons and statues technique?
Why are you asking questions like that? I don't know. I can't answer that.
Of course, like I'm just saying that, like, okay, you really want to set up these Mary Sue Romans? Like, come on, let's make them more Mary Sue.
Like we already gave them portable Gatling guns.
Yeah, we gave them portable Gatling guns, which, by the way, with what, a long clip, like a long stick that sticks out in order to make them effective.
It's like, that's a couple hundred pounds of gear you're carrying right there. How is your back not broken at this point?
Or your arm, like how can you even lift it with your arm, your hands? And like the clips would have to be so huge in order to incorporate the Gatling gun. And is it like is it just a simple pull the trigger and it spins, or is it like you use a crank so you're cranking them out?
Crank it up.
It's like mind you, everyone, if you want to know what a portable Gatling gun looks like in modern day, because it takes us, I don't know, hundreds of years in order to even begin to think we could probably make this thing smaller. This is what you would carry.
About over 100 years. Yeah, show them the old-fashioned Gatling guns. Old-fashioned, like a Gatling gun.
Okay. I don't know. TF2 Heavy had similar something.
And it's the 1800s Gatling gun.
There, yeah.
But,
you see the amount of you could carry the gun. It's more like the ammo and like the way you fire that makes it that you have to give it cannon wheels.
Yeah, and that thing, if you're not careful, it will overheat and jam.
Yeah, you have to do a precise movement. You have to do it slowly, like a lot more slowly than you expect. You can't just like crank it fast enough, faster as a ninja.
Yeah, you have to slowly crank it up, and you need to stop and let it cool for a bit. It's not as simple as just keep firing for forever.
And plus, the clips are very small compared to the Gatling gun.
Yeah,
for that reason.
Anyways. Let's keep going. And until we figured out a way to sell them for good, magic users sealed them in the statue, and then we broke the statues to pieces.
Yeah. How cool. Wouldn't that have weakened the seal? Haku asked.
No, it doesn't. For each, I rank out the statue becomes a smaller seal.
Of course. Of course. Let's just continue.
With the energy.
With the energy to be seal within powering a seal, and the fox seal within a statue, its own power would fuel the seal. What else? That's not how the seal process works in Naruto. It runs off of chakra. Only if the seal is whole will the seal can be open. While ripping a book to pieces, only when you gather and piece together all the pieces would it be a book again. Except you can't do that. When you rip the book up, there is no putting it back together.
You need glue to put it back together, especially depending on the way you ripped it.
Yeah. In our case, you may have ripped it so badly that there's no point.
You might as well make a new book.
It's like, well, ask the Romans, why can't we get the rest of the Iliad from Alexandria? Oh, wait, they burnt it.
Yeah. There was some riots, that there was some tensions, and let's just say a priest got involved.
So you set fire to the library. Thanks for destroying the entire stories.
Well, to be fair, they only destroyed what's left of Alexandria. That place got horribly unlucky over the years.
And luckily, we lost the rest of the Iliad, so we'll never know the full story.
Until, like, it would be fun if it just pops out years later, we found the rest of the Iliad.
It's like finally the completed story of the Iliad. Because there was a lot more to the Iliad. We don't even have the full version. Well, it may seem like a lot, that's the incomplete version. It's like over 100 poems.
Yeah, the rest of the Iliad was finished. In terms of the story, it was finished in the Odyssey, the sequel.
Yeah, the Odyssey was a better sequel.
Yes, because it's like the Iliad ended at like a poignant point, but it's like, wait, and then the sequel starts years later. Like, what?
Oh, Iliad. Why the hell are you mentioning Iliad? Who the fuck is Iliad?
The Iliad.
The book, the poem, epic poem.
Yeah, the poem done by
Homer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go.
Okay.
Yep. It's only like ripping up the Roman way is to make things last. Made in Rome.
Really? Make things last. Make things last. When I think of Rome, when I think of Rome, the first thing I think of is longevity, not anything else. Not like Roman law or the Roman army or the Colosseum, like their wonderful architecture. No, they make things last.
Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, their structures lasted, but sure as crap their empire didn't.
Yeah, they built stuff that was advanced and that lasted so long. But there's other parts that didn't last very long.
The thing with the Romans that the reason why they collapsed was because they grew way too big. And they couldn't support it all. They eventually stagnated and just devolved into degeneracy and deviancy and then collapsed.
Yeah, and like they're called, and like they're like the Roman Republic, for example, was built like the way it was being done was good for a city-state, and that's why it became the Roman Empire. The way it collapsed, the way it did, and became the Roman Empire was because of the way the government worked. It was not like the United States or a lot of modern countries now, where they made it so understanding to make it last long and to can even survive under the pressure of like growing land or losing land. It's not like as opposed to Rome.
Rome, on the other hand, it didn't plan out logistically wise to manage an empire of its size. Like, yeah, it was smaller than Alexander's empire, and it couldn't handle it. Yeah,
well, then the Roman emperors tried to expand lands, and then after Caesar Augustus, that failed campaign in Germany, they just decided, we're not going to expand anymore. Even though that's how their army worked, how you got a paycheck in the army.
Depending on how many people how far we march, that's how much you'll get paid.
You literally gain land, but you can't just simply inherit old land. You need to get new lands for your soldiers, because the soldiers follow your general. or the emperor.
It's like Rome built things that last, but they weren't. But the Rome itself did not last.
They have good architecture that lasts, but in terms of everything else, well,
Yeah.
the Romans are like the way it operated was like the mafia, and we all know how lasting the mafia is.
I don't know. Wait, is mafia still a thing?
Yeah, but it's
not
not as
powerful as it used
not
to be.
it's not as powerful back in the heyday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the Prohibition era, they were pretty much the government.
They were pretty much the default gang in America that rules everything. And and the mafia had power even up to the 70s. Like they had power, but it's much like, let's just say, the KKK. They're not as powerful as they were.
Yeah. Eventually their influence dwindled.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, Haku asks.
Use more gun. Sorry, I use.
Well, yeah, that's the solution to every problem. Well, your car's not working, fire at it. Your taxes are late, shoot it.
Oh.
Your wife's pregnant. Well, you know what to do.
All right, can I do Haku lines because I like doing this? He sounds like a stereo Japanese voice.
Well, believe it or not, Haku's kind of a trap.
What?
So it's a girl.
No, he was so effeminate looking that Naruto thought he was a girl. But they're like,
Oh.
a guy.
And if that doesn't work,
I
please be great. I do like. We could get through this by just doing terrible voices.
Yeah, I know.
I just have to cast the spell of bone breaking. It's a spell that is very costly to cast, but the target struck by the spell will break apart. Well, you'll see, even if the demons are made of pure energy, their energy still needs something to bond it together to take shape. Like a block of ice that melts into water. The bond breaking causes the bond that holds the entity together to break apart. Yes, that's called turning from a solid into a liquid.
Yeah, why couldn't he? Man, he's just clearly he had a word count on the day, and not like an editing. Like he doesn't edit his work, or no editor came in.
In fact, something even funnier. His Roman Fox rewrite, it literally looks like it was just copy pasted.
Oh God!
My goodness!
It's like very few edits made. It's just mostly copy pasted.
And people said that was an improvement. So that talks about his regular writing style. Like I will applaud him for he has crazy ideas and he'll write them on paper on them.
He doesn't think through it all.
It doesn't edit his work.
Yeah. That's like a block of ice that melted the water. The spell is fantastic on lesser demons and proven very effective in destroying them. Even though it still is alive, there be nothing you can do with its body can be put back together again on its own. God, for its father was a hamster, for its mother was a hamster, and its father some of the elderberries.
Oh, what do you think I have this ridiculous French sword? As one would find oneself helpless if their body falls apart to pieces, and the only part you can control is your eyes. Or use a teleportation spell, using a mirror on the demons, sending the demon teleporting through different mirrors at once, since the demon isn't completely there. Alter any time. Any time? What? That's ad. It should be ad. It be trapped. Oh no! It would be trapped. Not it be. It be trapped from being teleported to several mirrors at once, unable to even think of a plan to escape. Flake explains again.
It's like, but how's that spell work?
That makes no sense. Like, JoJo has better explanation of how their stance works.
Yes,
Even the
like
crazy ones like King Crimson
King
and
Crimson.
King Crimson and a Man in the Mirror or
It's like they better
Zowago.
Zawa. It's like, yeah, as stupid and ridiculous their exposition gets, it's funny at how it's delivered. How it just comes
Oh, yeah,
out of
I
nowhere.
love JoJo. JoJo is my favorite manga, and it makes sense. Like there is a logic to it. You can understand how Araki thought of this stuff. It's not. There's rarely a time where you think that makes no sense.
It's like it
Ever.
operates by a logic that is insane, but it works.
Yeah, that's the point. It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Bizarre is in the title, so expect some crazy stuff to happen. And don't like we all know with Speedwagon just went on a whole explanation of his powers. It's like it came out of nowhere, and you laughed so hard that you didn't expect this.
Expect what? Speedwagon to have power? What?
Remember when Speedwagon? Remember when Jonathan uses his power, and then Speedwagon went on a long explanation of what it was?
Which moment? Like, there's lots of moments where, in like early parts of JoJo, he's using this ability.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Oh my god! It's like as ridiculous as JoJo is, it does take itself very seriously.
Oh yeah, like Pet Shop fight. If you know Iggy versus Pet Shop, he actually goes an explanation about a bird's lung capacity to explain why Pet Shop can go underwater and fight Iggy.
Okay.
It's like
He would use just insane details like that to explain.
Call Rocky many things, but he's a man that thinks things through.
And I call him one of the greatest mangaka. He's my favorite mangaka. And
he's immoral. He is straight up immoral. I don't think he even has gray hair yet.
Oh yeah, he's 60 and he looks young as ever.
Yeah, these Japanese people, they age slow.
No, here's the funny thing. The director of the JoJo Bizarre Adventure Diamonds Unbreakable movie, he's the same age as Araki. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love it how we're we're purposely doing tangents.
Yeah, listen, like, this is what the guy looks like. Like, and you'll be surprised at how old he actually is. He's the same age as Araki, just remember that. Araki is the same age as this guy. Look at how his hair is going.
Jeez.
Oh my, he's graying.
No.
He looks like he always looks disappointed. Like he's
Araki.
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yes, Araki has special genes. Like, he's an elf. Araki's an elf. He's a little elf.
Look, this is him in 2020. He hasn't changed. When was the last time he physically aged? It's like he's a hermit immortal.
Well, he does have a wife, so he is married. So
yeah.
Well,
he's a Chad hermit.
Oh yeah, he's one of the chat. Like what's so funny is that I actually have a video saved of an interview he did because it's just saying what his plans is after finishing part 8, which is in short taking a year off and then starting working on part 9. And the protagonist, he just gives him a name, and I don't know what he means by it. It's Emporio from. And there's a character named Emporio in part 6 who's the little kid. The only character that survived from the main universe that got before the reboot happened. It got rebooted twice. And so we don't know if it's just going to be the same Emporio from part 6 or from an alternate timeline. Anyway, later in the video, he actually explains, like, yeah, I didn't intend it for my manga to be like a gay icon. It's like, oh, he just like, oh, yeah, I'm happy that gay people like it. Yes, JoJo. Like, You just look at JoJo. Like,
It's not that gay. It's like they aren't gay. They're just super masculine and actually really good bros. It just
yeah, they're super masculine. That like,
they're heterosexual
oh,
life partners.
yeah, they're heterosexual and they're so oh, makes you question about your own sexuality sometimes.
It's like they're so
I don't-
muscular. It's like they can flex. If you get bed steel with just a flex. And then the later parts came in and they all started getting skinnier.
Well, but still has that awesome physique. I
Yeah.
actually do like a modern Rocky art.
And
so.
and they still dress like women, especially Vanilla Ice. What the fuck was that?
A lot of Rocky really cares about what clothes characters wear a little bit too much.
Like you, there's a character called Fugo in Part 5. He wears a thong.
Oh yeah, and also his clothes are just like a jacket with a whole bunch of holes.
It's a Swiss.
And he wears a loose tie. He could have been a stripper, for all we know. Even though it doesn't match his personality. Just don't take him off, or he'll send one of the evilest stands that he can't even control.
It even hurts him. He is so afraid of he hates, like his own stand, he hates it beyond belief.
Yeah, basically it's a stand it's a regular punching stand that has that's just out of control. But that's not the deadly part. His knuckles are capsules. If they break, they unleash a gas that kills you within 30 seconds.
It's a very powerful poison. And the worst part is, it affects him too.
It affects everyone.
Yeah, it does not discriminate. But hey, on the upside, at least his stand cares about keeping himself clean. There's a very funny skit where a bunch of his drool fell in his leg. He knows it did just try to clean it off with his hand, and it's like, it's clean. But now my hand's dirty. Let me just lick it off, and now it's dirty again, and now my leg's dirty all over again. It just gets even madder.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just continue.
Yeah.
Okay. I love talking about JoJo. That we should have like other like live streams talking about cool, better stuff than this.
Yeah, perhaps in the future.
Well, there is a fanfic that I read that's not completed because it's not translated yet. That is a JoJo fanfic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's called JoJo's Bizarre Days, and it follows. It's an alternate timeline of where the end of Part 6 happened very differently. And the main character is actually Shizuka Joestar, which is that little baby from Part 4. It's her as a high school.
Uh-huh.
We'll probably add that to the next series. It's finally something good to read.
Yeah, but we need to take breaks sometimes from. And by the way, the main villain is actually a pun out of Mary Sue. By the way.
Oh my god, a pun of Mary Sue.
Yes, that's the villain's name. It's a pun out of Mary Sue.
Anyways, you people plan things out, Zabuza said.
We have been
things out. Okay, let's just go.
okay.
Like, if they planned things out, they would have taken over all of Eurasia and Africa by this point.
Yeah.
We've been around for 2000
Or 2000s.
For 2000s.
we have seen just about everything. Oh, we know how to deal with beasts. We haven't lasted this long without knowing how to handle ourselves with unknown elements.
Could we please have an arc where they battle Cthulhu?
Fucking Cthulhu.
Somebody pulls out. No, they went against Cthulhu.
No.
That would be stupid. Like they battled Dagon.
I wanted to battle the dog that is pretty much which pretty much allows their existence to keep going. That dog that is pretty much sleeping, but the second he wakes up, everything ceases to exist because it's all a dream.
Yeah. Okay.
which would make the hill villages not needed anymore, Zabuza said.
We we always can use spy is an assassins, Drake said.
How can that work? Because clearly it looks like, to me, based on the fanfic, it clear that you weren't doing any scouting. Otherwise, the other nations would know. All the other villages would know about you guys coming from a mile away.
A chakra enhanced soldiers will make the army stronger.
Why do you care so much about that? Because really, you don't really care about how skilled your soldiers are. You just care that there's plenty of them to go send dying at the enemy.
Yeah,
After,
and plus you have guns and stuff. Like, who cares? Like who cares? Why do you need chakra?
Oh god. It's not as easy as that. In every village, children are scanned. Scanned?
no, that's not how it works. Not in some villages, that's not really how it works. They test your potential, but they don't scan you. It was like you test your chakra potentials. If you have it's different in the Leaf Village. It's the Leaf Village decided to go with its regular conscription. Anyone can join as long as you have chakra. There's really only one character that doesn't use chakra, and that's because it's through the deficiency he cannot manipulate chakra, and so it's said he focuses purely on taijutsu, and he is fearsome when he is a fearsome close quarters combat fighter. Even more so when he's drunk. When he's drunk, you better run for the hills.
That's actually cool. Like, I do like the idea of characters who don't use the power system, but are still badass.
He whips Sasuke's ass, and even more so, he was wearing weights. So if he took those off, he would be even faster. That is Rock Lee. Yep. Mother freaking Rock Lee.
Rock Lee? Who was that?
Like,
Yes.
I know this goes against the fantasy, but it would be interesting to do a manga or a story where it's a universe that has, like, you know, a power system like chakra or nen or quirks, but the main character is someone who doesn't have any of those abilities and has to
Compensate for their cripple.
compensate for them. Like, and that's kind of the focus, is where, like, yeah, it's fun to have like a main character who learns these new abilities and gets stronger that way. It's also would be interesting just to have the character who's like, I can't have these abilities, they don't work, and he has to overcome these weaknesses and stuff.
A little fun fact: I was reading a Web2 comic called Unordinary, and I can't really spoil a whole lot, but I would recommend you read it. It's cool. Like you could catch up pretty fast. There's like over 200 episodes, but you could catch up pretty fast.
Cool. Right now, I'm reading through part 4 of JoJo.
Okay. The children with high levels are the ones chosen to be ninjas, as it's just easier to train them. Clans will press their children to schools if they don't have a high level control. It's a matter of family honors, that was I said.
That's how Rome works too.
Yeah. It's like your father was a soldier, you should also be a soldier.
Or like we are a wealthy aristocrat family. You have to go into politics because that's our family's heritage. We are part of Rome, how the Romans work.
My son is the first in generations to turn his back on the family trait of joining the army. How's that trait?
But I never forced him to join just because of the family honor.
Okay, a little fun fact. And Valkyria Chronicles 4, there's a character exactly like that, who joined the army because it was part of the family tradition to do so. But she has very high expectations set. And so she kind of has this thing where it's not meeting up with them. Because her expectation is, like, she has a personal potential called debater, because she finds all of her squad mates to be infuriating. Like, you don't see it, but you can just get implications that she doesn't really have, that she doesn't really trust, that she doesn't really respect her squad mates a whole lot, because she has very high standards regarding the military. She comes from an entire family that's been in the military. What did your son get into then? Hey, Ninja, read this. Just read it. Ninja,
Which part? Okay, where?
what Drake's about to say right now.
Um, he's running a food canning company. What?
Oh.
Okay.
Last time I
So
checked,
they have technologies to make canned goods.
Yes.
Could you look up of when canned goods was invented?
Canned goods invention.
Because I just want to make sure. Would it be classified as Civil War era or turn of the century?
It was done in France in 1809 by Nicholas Appert.
Okay. So it would be Civil War era technology, but that's just a bizarre detail. And also in this chapter, we're just getting expositions about it. Has it been like this? Is there I feel like the plot is not moving forward.
It's like last chapter we got an entire we got Shasti talking to the council about.
Is that really what this is? It's just a bunch of conversations.
Mayhaps. You'll never know. We're supposed to get to a war very soon. We all know there's going to be a war. Let's try to be honest. There's no way there isn't going to be a war in this story.
Yeah, but the whole premise is the Romans invading the world of Naruto. Yeah, I want a fight. Honestly, why is this is probably me little knowledge on fanfics, how they kind of operate, is that it seems like fanfics, instead of operating around the idea of fights, right, it's more about conversations.
Yeah, okay, that's something what this is something what Lily P didn't understand about fanfics. She thinks it's all about fights. Well, it's really about the characters.
Yeah. What can you do with the characters? Yeah, it's interesting. Are they the same, but do you do something interesting with them, or do you manage to bring in a new aspect to them that you did by yourself? They're still characters we recognize, but you bring in a bit of that element that you never seen.
Yeah, those are the.
I really keep listening to Bury the Light while I'm thinking of a new story, where that's literally especially the two souls once lost and now they remember. I have this idea in my head where it's exactly the same person, but one's the light side and the other is the bad side of him, and they're both fighting each other because it makes sense. Two souls once lost and now they remember. They become independent of each other. His company provides the rations for the army. Yeah, that's what canned goods are mostly for.
Yeah, but it was back then when can openers didn't exist.
What are you talking about? We already had a can opener. It was called a knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah.
Pulls out the katana.
And when he roped, Goon turned to see what Drake was looking at, and he saw someone had sneaked into the room. He's a big, burly man, dressed in a green color leather vest and green pants. Your gas mask covering his face and carried a number of blades on him. But his main weapon...
What is he, some JoJo knockoff?
Wait, what? Where?
He wore a gas mask covering his face and carried a number of blades on him. But it's his main weapon that got their attention. Hanging on his belt is a meat cleaver that's been rebuilt. Made of a strong... Oh, wait. I already know who this guy is. It's the Butcher.
The Butcher.
It's always an OC that pops up in his Naruto fanfics. The Butcher is an overpowered character that can cancel out jutsus.
Wait,
what?
Butcher.
Yes.
So, he's appeared before?
Yes. He appeared in Dishonored Fox fanfic. He has appeared beforehand. He literally just renders... He can even disable bloodlines.
Oh, fuck. Bloodlines. What's that?
Yeah. It's Butcher. It's the Butcher.
Indeed, a Butcher.
It's he's so overpowered. He killed both Jiraiya and he managed to beat Jiraiya and Tsunade together because they can't beat the Butcher.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Lengthening and reinforcement of the hilt for superior grips and ease of wielding. A
Oh.
meat cleaver. Are you sure, man?
Meat cleaver. I know it's a pretty powerful knife, whatever it is.
Like,
It's a
yeah, it's good for cutting stuff, but as a weapon? I mean, get one good. You get, if you're strong enough with it, you can get in. But a meat cleaver.
I don't know the
This-
only
This is what a meat cleaver looks like.
the only time a meat cleaver ever is used is the only ever time a meat cleaver is used as a weapon is from Team Fortress 2 and
Like here's a meat cleaver.
well you could
Yeah,
throw
that
it.
does not. That's like. It's not like. Oh my goodness.
Well, it kind of well you could throw it and it could launch in someone's skull. That could work.
Oh, well, if this was the actual Naruto ninjas, they would just dodge it. But no, in this story, they need to activate a speed jutsu in order to do anything. They don't fall on those levels.
Whoa.
No joke, they are naturally faster. But he literally admitted to nerfing them by making them do a speed jutsu if they ever want to do that. No matter who he is or where he came from, only he knows his past. He appeared during the last Ninja War, fighting for whoever pays him. He provided himself time after time proved himself time after time being able to kill ninjas no matter how skilled they are.
Why the hell is that gas? Why the hell does he have a gas mask?
Like, is he based upon pyro or something? Like that was the way he's so overpowered.
Yeah. Whoa.
The only target he's failed to kill was the fourth Hokage of the Leaf Village. After the war, he had just disappeared as he had appeared, but every so often he would appear and kill some ninjas before fading away into the shadows. Okay, how has no hunter then actually caught him? Like they,
Yeah, I like. Wouldn't that be like the top priority of like any murder? Like if he kills a person, is like, oh, this guy is still around and he's just randomly killing people. This guy could be trouble. All right, we need to get a team together to try to take him out.
like there are hunter ninja teams. They have many methods of tracking a target. Like maybe they have a summoning contract with animals that can pick up smells or things like that. Like you may never know, but they will be able to track you. How they not found him? Most importantly, it's like okay, maybe it wasn't one squad, maybe it was multiple squads that were sent after him. They would have caught him eventually. But no, apparently he could beat them no matter what. There is no defeat.
Because his OC, that sounds his description sounds a stupid OC.
His main weapon is a meat cleaver.
No, his look is stupid. Wait, a gas like really? Gas max, green leather vest and green pants. So he sticks out like a sore thumbs.
Really? Indeed, he does.
Everyone can recognize him just based on his looks. Like Butcher, that's you. How'd you know? Sawaza, who is this? The two members of the Akatsuki, Butcher said. Sawaza, who is this man? Crocker asked. I'm the ninja butcher. The butcher.
I'm the ninja butcher, the butcher. But just say I'm the butcher.
Yeah.
Or just call me Butcher.
I always kill my targets with one exception. No. It would just say I kill my targets. Like again, like this dialogue feels more like I'm getting lore dumps than character.
Even in terms of the characters, are awful.
Yeah,
like I would like
a way to explain a character how they say about themselves can show you who he is. Like just say I'm the butcher. I kill my targets.
Well, if you're here to kill, you'll find me much different from fighting a ninja. Hey, Ninja, how about you read this? I'm pretty sure you could give this guy some personality.
I'm not here to kill, just here to look around. After all, after those two fools thought you Romans would be no trouble to deal with. Let themselves be killed like that.
Seriously, what is with the script? It's so poorly put together.
Yeah. Clearly. Terrible writing.
You, on the other hand, won't kindly stand in front of a firing squad, will you? Crocker said.
There's no way outside using a speed jutsu to dodge a bullet coming right at you. One can still can make sure they're not in the line of the gun, as you call it. Those guns more than levels the field. I must say, well, ninjas have all those fantastic powers, but you Romans have inventiveness and are much better at being bastards. But okay, so
He sounds
man,
like
can make sure can. No, one can still make can. Could remove the second can and you could just say one can still make sure. And I hate being the editor here. I don't want to criticize on like grammar and stuff, but
Like I said,
I'm not that great at writing either. But oh my goodness!
like I said, somehow, some way, I don't know how, but he managed to accomplish being having worse grammar than Slipknot Ghidorah. I don't even know how he did it, but he managed to succeed.
Soundwaves Alliance, I'm assuming.
Yep.
yes.
I don't know how he managed to do it, but he managed to do it. And the worst part is, he's been writing since 2004.
Oh my goodness! Did he go to college?
I don't know. Did he go to school?
Yeah, that's my question. Did he go to college or is he self-taught? Because if he's self-taught, then oh my goodness, like you have like people just praising up your hind end and not criticizing your work whatsoever. And if you go to school, what school did you go to?
The MIT they went to the Massacres. They went to the Massacres University.
Massacres University.
Yeah, Boston.
Wait.
What?
I'm making a joke.
Oh, Boston Massacre. Okay.
Oh, Boston Tea Massacre.
No. I said a joke I forgot from a Valkyria Chronicles fanfic called Ranger Things Have Happened. The joke is that they call themselves, that it's spelled massacres, but it's pronounced massacres.
Massacres.
Yeah. Yes. And their football teams know the MIT Massholes.
So the whole joke is that they're from Massachusetts.
Well, it's called Vinland. They're in the United States of. Well, Riley went to the United States of Finland, which is just North America, which is essentially the United States, except that the Vikings appear. That's what we can apply for. The Vikings colonized it first. In Valkyria Chronicles, Vinland's actually neutral, and it does not interfere in the Second European War at all. Sorry, European War at all. Like, they stay out. Not like they just, nope, I'm not paying attention to this.
So basically, they're complete isolationists.
Well,
like,
they still do like the Lend-Lease thing. Like, they'll help out with weapon development, research, they'll send them supplies, but otherwise, they're not vocal support. But otherwise, they don't provide troops.
Yeah, they're more about economics. Like,
Yeah.
they will support you economically, much like America was for most of the
2 World Wars, yes.
2 World Wars.
They only came in, in the case of World War I, they came in at the very tail end to wrap it up, and you could think, in the case of World War II, Japan brought them in.
Yeah, screw Japan. Like, screw Japan. They deserve those 2 nukes.
It's like, we're just staying here alone. It's a good day to attack Hawaii.
Yes, it's a good day because we know that the Americans are just going to attack us as soon as we want to capture all their islands. Why would they do that? I don't know. You're attacking places that America profited from. You could have just focused on, I don't know, conquering China.
Yeah. It's like, Germany didn't want to fight didn't want to fight the United States yet. Japan dragged them into it anyways.
And like the only reason Japan did it was so that they thought they could easily just knock America out of.
Surprise, surprise! Apparently, the eagle bit back.
Yeah, just knock out the sleeping giant, catch him while he's sleeping, and then they're like, "Yay, we got our empire!" And America will sue for peace because they don't want to have long wars. Yeah, you literally bombed us while we were at peace with you, and you killed our guys. You killed families.
It's like, oh, that means it's war.
And then you conquered the Philippines. The way you did that, you mistreat them.
Yeah, it's like the one thing you can say that the Pacific Theater taught the entire world's navy is that the age of battleships was coming to an end. Now was the age of the aerial fighter.
Yeah, and it's only luck that we didn't have aircraft carrier, like our aircraft carriers was not there. But
Yeah,
still, it's so
what their
funny.
target was. Along with the
Yeah.
battleships, they're going to take out the only carrier the United States had at the time.
They
Yeah,
had
which was
two, but they were out like on patrol.
like the Lexington and the Yorktown.
Yep.
Yeah, then they're like, oh, I see, more.
Yeah, and then it's like, wait, why aren't you guys surrendering? Like, Russia surrendered when we did a war. You're a complete jerk to us. You attacked us. Like, do we?
It's like, don't fight you. It's like, yeah, Japan started out with more carriers. I think they had like the 12 carriers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had 12, and they were different carriers.
Yeah, and they were like,
types.
they were more advanced carriers. Didn't take long though.
Yeah, and the problem was is that we can replace our carriers that got wrecked. Japan, on the other hand,
No, they don't have the resources.
and then when they did have the resources, they decided to build a bigger battleship called the Yamato.
Too bad. It's like,
Oops!
yeah,
And guess what happened to that one?
sank.
Sank.
It's like, yeah, you taught us a lesson. Don't rely on battleships forever, especially ones without proper anti-air defenses.
And especially when you just have them going on random patrols.
Yeah, it's like, so now the formation became carriers, destroyers, frigates, cruisers, and a battleship. It's like good anti-ship and good anti-air coverage. Come at me.
Japan was lucky also that our American torpedoes sucked. Otherwise, it would have been a lot worse.
Okay, tell me, Butcher, would you be willing to work with us? Drake asked.
Work with you? Butcher
Butcher
said. It pays well. If you join, the pay will be 50 gold. Euro.
Audius.
Audius, half now, half later. You'll be paid the normal wage of a soldier when their service ends of
1,600 or denarius.
And how much is a silver denarius worth? And what on earth is a denarius? Really? Like, you're introducing this weird currency? I am so used to all this, our currency here. What's this currency? Could you just say that I got, like, this amount pounds of gold?
Yeah, their currency is called Rios. So, wherever a denarius is, you need to establish the exchange rate, man.
Yeah, you need to...
submarine character. Oh yeah, submarine aircraft carriers. I still need to look back into that and figure out how exactly that worked because I don't fully understand it.
Yeah, technically the French had one too.
Yeah,
submarine aircraft carriers.
Yeah, that's the thing. They also could launch aircraft from the cruisers.
Yeah.
They were like scout craft, They were like on these rails on the side. They would turn the rail, then shoot the airplane, and then shoot the aircraft out. Like it took off on that rail. It was most notably, it was I forgot what they were called, but I forgot what their type of aircraft was called, but it was the one that could actually land on water. And let me look it up. I forgot what it was called. The Catal. Make sure I got this right. I think it's called the Catalina plane. Let me look it up. Okay, the Catalina. It is. It is. It's just okay. It's called a flying boat.
Okay. So back in the Empire, a 3 denarius, a 3, not 3, can cover 1 for about 4 days for basic needs. Come on, you could just say back in the Empire, 3 denarius can cover for about 4 days of basic needs.
Yeah.
How
Also,
can I come up with better grammar than this guy?
I don't know because you actually know how to write.
Barely. What's the value of the coins? Really? That mistake? You did what?
What? I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt.
Okay, it's an and Aru is worth 100 denarius, and a denarius is worth 100 toil or copper coins. Cocker explained. That is not helping! You're literally not helping!
All right. Keep in mind for his author still, because he does not want to explain it now. He'll explain at the end.
Okay. I can see that you Romans are here to stay. Many villages will fight back as they see you here as a threat to their way of life.
As they rightfully show.
Tell me, what's the size of your army?
The standing army is about 500,000 men, and we can call in reserves if needed. And the current reserve number of people living in the Empire is around 50 million.
Drake answers.
That, like, 15...
50 million?
50 million?
No, 500,000.
What do they need? Why... Wouldn't they just send in, like, 5,000s? Because 50 million seems a lot. Is that the size of their army or the size of the Empire?
That's how many people are living in the Empire.
So that means the army is drastically less.
Yeah, 500. They have 500,000 people in the army.
Because this war is not. The Naruto people are not planning to invade the Empire. Because that would be stupid.
You have that.
Like, their whole goal is just to kick up the Romans out of the island. Like, scram!
It's like, shoot. It's like, shoot. Come back when you say, hey, stop letting the borders be closed. Remember that Bill Warts video? It opened the country. Stop having it be closed.
All right.
You have that many people, Zabuza asked, realizing how overmatched. Oh my god, overmatched?
Wait, where's it?
Overmatched. That is... Overmatched.
Yes.
Overmatched.
Yes.
It should be outmatched.
Overmatched is not even a word.
Well, it sounds like a word.
And plus, if it is a word, it would be the exact opposite. It just says, oh yeah, we're the elemental countries are so much more powerful than the Romans.
Oh, wait, no, it is no. Wait, no, never mind. It is a word. But it's past tense. What is overmatched? Be stronger, better armed, or more skillful than. It's a verb. And it means be stronger, better armed, or more skillful than.
So yeah, if we're going to follow by this logic, that means the elemental countries are actually stronger than the Romans.
Which in real life actually would make sense because half the fucking Naruto characters could probably decimate
army. Yeah, like there's no such thing as flanks. And then if they try to do magical whatever, it takes them so long that all it takes is one kunai, exploding kunai to the face.
Yeah, they have they get some. It's like they got clever tactics.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
like, come
yeah,
on. And if we're doing it by a key, like using the Kisho Tenketsu, like which most manga operates on, like it will be like, oh no, will the tail piece be set into the stone to be scattered into multiple pieces? Nope. Kakashi is actually right behind that guy and stabbed him right back in the neck, instantly killing him.
yeah.
Ritual stops.
Also, exploding. There are seals that have there are exploding tags, right? Those can work as mines. They just have to end around a bit and make it into a big mine. Place it on the road, let them come, and set it go boom.
Yeah, yeah, and like unless these ruins is like, oh, these tags are like, or they could simply just like cover a road, right? Cover a road where you need roads to build like armies to move quickly, right?
Yep.
You build roads and you put multiple symbols, and only some of them are active.
Yeah. They'll spend all of eternity trying to figure out which one is which.
Yeah, like you just make every single stone literally a symbol.
You'll never know which one's a landmine.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, okay, we have to now go on across country. And then you run into the problem that you're going cross country.
Yeah, just watch, and then your supplies will be depleted even faster. You're going to be marching through rougher terrain, meaning that you'll have to start or ditching some equipment eventually. You'll start suffering from attrition.
And then if you go through the forest, you're giving the perfect terrain for ninjas to do ambushes and take you out one by one.
That and the wildlife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're not talking about the wildlife. And then if you try to go to the sand village, you're literally going through a desert.
And that's not all. Gaara has control. Gaara's tailed beast, Shukaku, gives him innate control over sand. He literally, like, just come to us. Just come to us. Walks over to sand, crushes them all.
Yeah. Or just like sand spikes popping out. Like
Yeah.
and then there's some areas that are mountainous.
Yes. And then there's also the hidden village in the mist. Poor visibility.
Yeah, like you're like just by default, just saying like, so how much nerfing will these guys get? Like to just think of basic military stuff like terrain.
So, like there are multiple factors: terrain, supply lines, whether or not they actually know how to survive in this kind of environment.
And by the way, I'm just using simple stuff that my bare knowledge of Naruto. That this is what they could do. They could make exploding kunai. They can make symbols that explode. They can do. They have like awesome ninja skills that like if you try to hit them, they can instantly switch their bodies with a block of wood.
Yeah, substitution. You can't forget about that.
Like that's like the most common ability. Like if you play any of the Naruto fighting games, that's the one thing you're gonna pull off all the time.
It's like praise thy sacred wood.
Just imagine like, okay, so all these ninjas are like a whole army is chasing these Romans. These advanced Romans point their guns and start firing at them, and then instantly they're all wood. And where are the ninjas? All of a sudden, they're right behind you because they teleported.
Yeah.
Right behind you with your big walls and your big shields, and sweep, first rank dead.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're up and close, it's like you're
in the perfect spot for a trap.
Like as soon as the ninjas get up close to Romans, like they can't be. They said they're not hiring based on skill, so it's like guns, like the whole martial arts with guns now, right? The army is trained to use their martial arts to try to move a person attacking them away so they can get in line to line up a shot.
Yeah, CQC training, you're supposed to be like at least know some knowledge of it. It's like they don't teach you that just for show.
Yeah, and like, and are these Romans ends with Gladius?
Yeah, they're equipped with Gladius.
Oh yeah, and that means you're doing hand-to-hand combat, which means I'm pretty sure ninjas are going to be better because these are ninjas. That's kind of their thing. Or are they saying like, oh yeah, they have armor, so.
But armor still has weak spots. If your heads are covered, they could just go straight for the neck.
Yeah, Yeah, or like they could literally like if you try to stretch with your arm, unless your armor is like complete gauntlet, gonna cut you. They just need to cut your hand arm in a certain way, and your arm is you can't use the hand. That means you can't use your sword.
Also, they could go for your shins. It's or the back for your
If
knee.
they,
Or the back for your
yeah,
knee.
it's not common, but it's still a thing.
Yeah, remember Achilles' heel. Like
Yeah,
the
it's
armor,
like
the armor only covers so much. Or,
yeah, and like so, do they have like guns and shields?
yeah, they still use shields, if I remember correctly.
So they use guns as their range, and then they use sword and scutum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even then, like the shield actually, in order to use the scutum, it kind of limits your visibility too.
It's a very big shield.
Yeah, it's a big shield, and it's great for like individual fighting. Don't get me wrong; it's a great weapon, a great combo set. But we're talking about ninjas, especially Asian ninjas. I mean, anime ninjas. But clearly, the writer has to nerf him somehow in order to make his Romans not look as cool.
Just wait till we get to Dishonored fanfic. You will be tearing your head out because, like, he does. Like, I'll admit, his Dishonored fanfic is more interesting since the void in Dishonored is not really clearly explain what it contains, but you could just imagine it's full of things. So what he does is that he actually uses the void to spawn eldritch creatures from Lovecraft.
So the void from Dishonored. I'm not as familiar with Dishonored as I thought for a second he meant For Honor.
You know, Dishonored. It's like the Dishonored void is very interesting, and how he uses it, I'll admit, is actually one of the things I'll actually like. Is that he does bring in some Lovecraftian creatures. You know, so it's like, but you know, actually, it's pretty good. That's a good implementation. Too bad that everything else doesn't make any sense because we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, we've gone an hour and a half and we haven't finished chapter 8.
Yeah. Well then, I'll work with you Romans then. After all, I never did like how ninjas think their skills make them unbeatable. Well, yeah. Are you trained in the arts of a ninja? It's like, do you know how to fight them? It's like, do you know what
and this is Haku. Wait, aren't you a ninja? Haku? Of course not. I'm a killer.
By the way, Haku has his bloodline ability is to use ice. Yeah.
I am a killer, killing every day. I'm dancing to the beat now. I'm a killer, time to kill those ninjas.
He just does his own thriller dance. I would pay money to see that.
Us doing parodies of these horrible fanfics, just like, this is us to make them better.
It's like, but wait, hold on. Don't these guys also have technical superpowers that make them better than us? What are you talking? We have guns, but don't we also need to reload them every now and again? Yeah, but guns also we aren't exactly trained well enough with them, so it's gonna take us quite a while in order to reload them. But it's also they are immensely more skilled than we are. It's also some of them have snuck behind us and are killing us from the back.
And also, why did we charge in the forest? Because guns! Because guns, and we have our Druid! And Frank is dead! Frank is dead!
Frank! Oh my god, this has been the most fun episode yet.
Yeah, because we're just riffing on this concept on that. Like, honestly, if, like, how dumber will this get? Like, there's no way this is gonna get any more entertaining.
It's like, this is, like, this, we haven't even hit peak stupidity.
How? Like, probably it's because this is so boring, too. Like, honestly, it's better, like, it would be better for, like, these type of shows, just to, like, yeah, this is what the chapter is. This chapter is just bland exposition, and we could just get to the real funny stuff.
Shotzi look over in a campground, seeing if there's anything that needs to be done. She found the camp in ship shape.
Ship shape.
Ship shape. Here, the camp's
I'm
all
pretty sure he meant like tip-top shape.
the camp's all set up in ship shape. Bam. Don't you mean tip top shape? No, no, ma'am. It's literally the shape of a ship.
Yes. They decided to outline their camp into a shape of a ship. Why? And it's not just like, you know, a boat. It's her favorite ship in a story. It's a fanfic ship.
It's a tent city of 80 soldiers.
That is not a city. It's
No.
a town. It's a camp.
80 soldiers.
Hey,
And wait, wasn't there supposed to be 500,000? Like 80 soldiers?
I think
Like-
this is her reconnaissance group. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is supposed to be the reconnaissance sent to the
Okay, what
force.
vehicles are they using? Like they had to have like a long range vehicle.
No, they
Some-
they marched there.
They literally marched there.
Yep. They're supposed to be they're technically talking with the village leaders.
They literally marched there.
They marched, yes, they walked there with escorts.
80 guys.
Yes.
80 guys
Yep.
for a small army comparatively. It's a
Then-
large army.
And this is supposed to be a recon.
This is-
Remember
This
this
is recon or diplomacy?
a little bit of both.
Why would you bring 80 guys? That is the most suspicious thing. That would get you killed. Like if your goal is like, yeah, we're gonna have diplomacy while scouting out the army, like maybe like 20 guys. That makes sense.
Yeah, 20 guys maximum.
20 guys because you want to have a small entourage. Like you want to have a small entourage so that you can carry like 20 soldiers, yes. And then if you want to have more people, you bring in the other people, like the other staff.
Also,
Like the slaves or like the servants and stuff.
they don't have they don't have
What?
agents.
So,
They have no camp servants.
which is absolutely stupid because that's how the Romans operated.
It's how we operated for years. We still technically do to this day.
We have staff other than soldiers.
Yes, we hire civilian contractors. It's like the military still to this day hires civilians.
And like even in our modern military, we have branches that deals with specific things.
It's literally they have an HR department.
Oh my goodness! Like, oh
Like,
my.
I am Mike. I'm Mike. I'm part of the U.S. Army HR department.
Like, what would... Because if anybody with decent knowledge of history, know that 80 soldiers, that's like a company. That is somebody scouting.
Yeah,
That is not a diplomatic group.
yeah,
Unless it's like a huge empire or a huge alliance. Like where this army is composed of multiple armies, which is also common in like this type of warfare. Is that the big army is compromised of smaller armies.
yeah. It's like, but each battalion has a typical specialization at they are pretty good at.
Yeah,
So,
but
not to one company marches the same.
well, and also I'm thinking more of like, oh, this is like the army from France, the army from England, army from Germany, and so they're sending in. The reason why this WTF is big is because they have multiple factions, multiple nations contributing to this alliance army.
Yeah, but we don't know much about their homeland anyway. So let's keep going. There are a few shacks here and there, but it's mostly a tent city. The camp is protected by barbed wire fences and has several towers.
So wait. Okay, so this group is going to has been are on their way, right? Either on their way or they are at the Leaf Village.
Leaf Village, yes.
Okay, so Leaf Village has like, I'm pretty sure, has plenty of space to, help to house 80 guys, right? Because it's a city.
This is what this is. I think this is hopefully this is not the picture from Baruto, because if it is, they're gonna be mad. I'm gonna be super pissed. Yeah, we don't talk about Baruto.
Yes, no one talks about him.
Okay, got the proper image. This is an image I think will work best.
Yeah, that looks like a decent sized cities. I'm assuming most of those are apartment complexes, right?
Yeah, there's apartments and whatnot.
Yeah. And by the way, the Hidden Leaf Village has modern armor. This world has modern armor and stuff, so their organs are protected from guns.
It's a moderately sized, it's called a village, but it's pretty moderately sized.
Yeah, it's a little city. That looks like a city.
Yeah, it's a small city, all things considered.
Yeah, and so it's that can house 80 guys, 80 soldiers with all their equipment. Okay, so if this is more like a personal thing, okay, fine. They don't want to.
Also remember, barbed wire fences.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, assuming they arrived, the Romans are very industrious. They can build their camps ridiculously fast, right? But not in this situation. This situation does not call for where they usually build it in terms of for protection and stuff. I'm pretty sure the Romans would prefer to actually be in the cities.
Yeah,
it works better when you're scouting too.
No, apparently they managed to catch a couple ninjas that were trying to get in. It's kind of hard, so some of them can actually transform to look like the environments. It's called a hinge. They're able to change their shapes. They're able to blend in with the environments. But apparently they also had enough resources and were capable of setting up several towers, and they didn't have any need to cut down any trees whatsoever.
Yeah, you kind of need that. And also barbed wire. Yeah, it takes a while to set up a barbed wire fence and to take it down.
Yeah.
You don't take down a barbed wire fence. And the Romans was more about, setting up and then tearing down.
Yeah, so it's temporary emplacements, temporary encampments were very quickly built and easy to take down as soon as they needed to move.
Yeah, or just left alone, but not. I doubt it because the Romans didn't want to give an advantage to their enemies.
Yeah.
On that, but
Also,
still, it's wait. Are they sneaking in, or they were guided there to be part of a diplomacy?
They're guided there so that they could talk.
Yeah, also, this is how the Roman army operated. They were diplomats first. They had their own form of diplomacy first.
Join us or die.
Or they can set a certain term, trade agreements.
Yeah.
On that, it's
they're
not crazy in terms of conquering armies. They're not the Assyrians. The Assyrians were the psychos. They were ancient world's equivalent of Nazis, and that's why their cities are no longer around.
Yeah, you try to find it, you won't get it.
Oh great, now I need to use the bathroom.
Shotzi then noticed a square rock just outside the edge of the camp. Huh, she must have rolled pretty good on a perception check. She walks over to the rock and lifts up the cardboard box painted to look like a rock off of 3 small kids. The kids give a scream and ran off. Saying, however, how their cover has been blown, Shotzi lets out a sigh as she walks back into the camp. This is going to be interesting, and Kim said as he walks up to her commanding officer with Ron right behind her.
They real they really should just ask if they can come into the camp. I don't understand why they are trying to sneak in, Ron said.
They want to learn about us, Shasti said. Word has already spread about us having weapons that can easily kill even the strongest of ninjas. It gives us an edge over them. Yes, I think it's use those jutsu, Ron said.
Oh, Ron, it's just like magic.
No, it's not.
But Jiu-Jitsu is like magic.
Alright, I'm back. So,
Oh, hey, hey, ninja, look at these totally Roman names. Ron and Kim.
Ron and Kim, really? I can't believe this. Like, if you're gonna go for a Roman aesthetics, like in terms of your look of your army and stuff, like you gotta give us at least some Roman names.
And that's not all. Even their ranks aren't Roman names. They
Yeah,
they have very few Roman sounding ranks, which is just centurion and like they don't even have it's like, mind you, it's like no private.
also they don't sound Italian. You would think they would at least sound Italian.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Ron, it's just like magic.
Alright, it's just like magic. Wait, let me. And if we can deal with magic users, then we can deal with them.
Kim said. Remember, I want all weapons to be accounted for at all times. I don't want to learn about a missing weapon that unaccounted for. Shasti said.
all weapons have already been checked. One in the morning and one at night.
What? What?
Shasti.
No. They have a weapon for the morning and weapon for the night.
No, they have a weapons check.
1 in the morning, weapons check. Like
Also, wouldn't Shotzi already know about the weapons checked?
Good.
it's like he's the commanding officer. She should probably be what, and 1 in the morning and 1 at night.
Like this is clunky exposition here. Like so just as they could have like used that as part of the description of like, oh, they're like oh, Kim is looking as she's looking over the weapons to make sure like or the usual weapons checked or something like what?
Yeah, it's like 1 in the morning and 1 at night. That's 12 hours in between.
Oh, it's not just that. Like this whole paragraph, like that whole paragraph talking about. Remember, I want all weapons to be accounted for. Blah blah blah. And then like we can't have them good without a comma. We can't have them falling in the wrong hands. Like no, you.
Okay.
It's like stuff like weapons check you should already be aware of.
Yeah, you should assume like this is stuff like the audience can assume that they check their weapons.
It's like you don't need to confirm everything. But as y'all know, he doesn't understand. When we're explaining stuff like military procedure to him, he clearly doesn't understand.
Like he doesn't. It seems like he does. Like he's trying to be overly detailed, trying to make the impression that he knows the stuff, and yet for the bare basics, he falls flat on his face.
He doesn't even grasp 1% of the actual entire formula.
And by the way, we're with the Roman characters. We're not with the Naruto characters. And we're kind of. Are we supposed to be rooting for these guys?
I don't know who are the main characters. I thought the Romans were the bad guys.
What are you talking about? It's a rightful invasion.
When is the Fire Lord coming? The Fire Lord, like from the Fire Nation?
Apparently,
Fire Lord knows he shows up and burns them all because it's.
Yeah, I made that joke as well.
Yeah, he did say daimyo. It just says Fire Lord. It's supposed to be daimyo the Fireland.
Fireland. So
the land of fire.
He'll be here in 2 weeks. And can we give him a good show? Also, has Naruto showed up yet? Wait, is Naruto with these guys?
Nope, and apparently this is Shasti asking.
Yeah, who's Naruto? Who is he? Is he named after the series?
Yeah. Wait. So what is Naruto? Like Naruto? What did he say that? Oh, I'm gonna bring the army of samurai here to fight you or something. What?
No, like no, he's seriously considering ditching all of his dream to join the Roman,
What?
so he can live a life free of discrimination.
And
And
free of that.
so he cannot be judged because he has the demon fox inside of him.
What?
Never mind trying to prove yourself that you aren't the fox, that you truly are a good person, or trying to earn respect. No,
This? Oh my goodness.
let's just move to an entirely different place and not get any, and just start all over again. That makes complete total sense.
Yeah, and like, just don't worry about the times that in case the demon fox comes up.
No, he hasn't, Kim said as she spent time with him during the travel to here. When do we see this? When did this happen?
Why couldn't we focus on this? On that? Like the traveling part with Naruto? Like and like doing character exploration?
It's like, show, don't tell. Like,
If we remain friendly with him, he might join us. Oh, great. So basically these guys are using Naruto.
Great.
it's like, oh, we're
Our,
trying to.
our heroes, everyone.
He's the black sheep of the village. We want to give him a better life, so let's convince him to leave. Oh, no, never mind. He already made up his mind. He's like made up his mind the second he saw him. I think they're cool.
Yeah, like it's just like he could. Man, it's like it would be interesting that like you have like Shashi's like I kind of want him to be on our side because I don't want to kill him. Like he's seems like a good kid. Or
you know what's really strange is that a constant argument they use is that Naruto doesn't really have anybody that cares about him. It's just like a few people. Like what's that compared to the entire village? So it's like, but he values those few people he has in his life that really do care about him.
Yeah, it's like. But isn't that like the point of Naruto? Is like he's all about the friendship stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's not how many that he considers his friend. It's how good of friends they are to him. It's how much they actually care about him that matters, not how many he has.
Or he is to them. Like he is like the whole part 2. Like I know you don't like part 2 as much, but
Nobody does. Well, not well. There's still people that do like it, but a lot of people who are really like who really liked part 1 or thought it was interesting was like completely and utterly disappointed. That's Naruto's supposed to be like the underdog of the story.
Yeah, now he's overpowered.
No, in part 2, it's like, oh no, but he's also the son of the fourth Hokage. He's also practically Jesus. He's also he's also a reincarnation of essentially Jesus.
And the devil.
It's like no. It's like
this but I'm just using an example part 2 about how he's willing to lose an arm to snap Sasuke out of his
Sasuke.
Yeah. What's so funny about Sasuke is my best friend. He likes Sasuke's character in part 1, but he hates his design. And then part 2, it's the opposite problem. It's like there's huge problems with his character, but his designs gets better, which is hilarious. I would say.
Well, he looks less like. Well, it doesn't look like he has less of a duck ass now. Yeah,
duck ass.
Yeah, that's a joke that Naruto fandom made that the back of his hair looks like a duck's back. The back's side.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, Black Sheep. So what's the conclusion of this scene?
We're almost here at the end of this chapter.
2 hours and we're still in chapter 8.
Oh,
would the village try to get him back, or would the village try to get him back or kill him? If they do attack us, and it's after we made a treaty with the Fire Lord, we will all be in our rights to defend ourselves against the Leaf Village.
What?
He's overpowered. He's from the Fortune Shock Gate, which is foreshadowed. It's like everything else. It's like leading up to it. It's like, wasn't your entire thing is that there is no such thing as destiny or fate, but what you make of your own? Aren't you supposed to grow powerful on your own, and that there's no predetermined life? Like, but no, just give him everything. Make him
So
Reincarnation.
I'm just here as like, so they wiped out like one village, right? They took out the water village.
No, they freed it from Gado's control. They didn't wipe it out.
What?
Like, yeah, the village in the waves was already pretty much like what's an apt description of modern life I could use? Run down slummy area.
Okay, so they basically quote unquote liberated, aka owning that. They're now in charge of that, right?
Yeah. The first
And
thing they do is that they're starting to rebuild it, and also they're going to rebuild the village of the waves. It's so that they got their engineers constructing stuff, and they're using their food, sharing their food supplies with them.
but they come with what 50,000, like 500,000 dudes.
No, they don't have 500,000 dudes. They came with a small force. 500,000 is just back at the mainland.
Okay, but a small force of like 10,000.
Presumably, yes. We don't get their act. We don't get the full
compared
numbers.
to like the Naruto numbers is like huge, like a huge army.
Yeah, I don't really know the full army size.
I'm just assuming like a huge army. It's a wicked big army.
Yeah.
And they take it over and they're saying, "Oh yeah, we're rebuilding it." It seems a bit more than just a simple liberation campaign and rebuilding campaign of a village.
Well, the thing is that they were pretty much being the guy in charge, like the guy really in charge. Gato was not really a saint. He was like he was actually a mob boss. Was more obsessed with profits. He tried to sabotage the Village of the Waves' efforts to build a bridge because that would gut his entire trade. So the thing is, he owns the sea trade. He's taxing him hard for imports over the sea.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the waves. I'm talking about what the other nations' reactions to it, right? Right? The perception is that just that perception of the idea of 10,000 dudes of foreigners in this one city now, and they have followers now because the people there are grateful.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what he's. Actually, I don't think the other villages have reacted yet. They literally just came in contact with the Leaf Village.
Okay, so they got in contact with the Leaf Village, and they're just standing there. Like, wouldn't it be like if they're doing diplomacy, be just like try to incorporate themselves into society, and just like be in the city?
All the way around, because guess what? To them, the ninja society is very backwards in civics.
But you would still want to respect that.
Yeah. But no.
If it was backwards, do they have an emperor?
I think they still do. They still have an emperor.
Oh yeah, totally civics. Oh, we elect our officials. How backwards is that?
No, I think it's mostly the women angle. Because that's an
really
angle.
Women?
That's the angle he played in the Dishonored fanfic. It's like it is mostly keeping it back with. It is true, like in the Dishonored world, women have a bit more of a sway there, but it's mostly still based off like steampunk Victorian London.
Yeah, because again, like the thing is, when you criticize other societies, you have to look at the underpinnings of the societies, right? Like there's positives with our modern society, but there's some big negatives that the other societies in the past didn't have, but they had other problems.
Yeah, they had other problems, but they simply got something. Like they got what they needed right, but they did have their own problems. Like yes, in modern day, sex and misogyny is really looked down upon.
Yeah, but we have other
problems stemming from it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to really get into a conversation about talking about how crappy a fanfic is.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the angle they play off of. Well, our society's been more progressive than theirs.
Yeah, it's so progressive that we have an emperor who rules like, and his name is suspicious name is Josephus Stalinus.
You said that. You say that about the DM of one of the campaigns I'm in. He even acknowledges it, and he mostly because he went with this aesthetic in the first place because he was on a server that had like Joseph Stalin memes, so he made him like Sephi.
Okay. I think I'll be leaving.
Okay.
All right, see you, Latvian Dragon.
Okay.
The
Please, just
Latvian
please don't.
we will take forever. We got I have a time limit as well. I have like 4 hours. Like
Yeah, okay. Take
yeah.
your time.
yeah,
Sorry for like taking so long.
yeah.
At,
It's
at
just
the
that there's
ABC.
so much. All right, everyone, you can check out Latvian Dragon's channel in the description. I left it there. If there's anything
Alright.
else you would want me to put in the description, just let me know.
Okay. See ya.
See ya.
All right.
And then number 2.
And then number 2, he unfortunately our dragon got taken out by the stupid Romans.
Yeah. Aren't we trying to avoid a fight, Kim asked. We are, but hearing what his life is like, I would like to show him the same kindness they have shown him. Yeah, like that's... Okay. Author's notes. The origin story reveals the tail beasts are fragments of life energy from a truly massive eldritch abomination, the Kyuubi. The ones who defeated it severed the beast's chakra into 9 parts and then imposed the image of a beast on each fragment, likely so they wouldn't merge at their own will. While this isn't a mind itself, how hard would it be for someone to figure out how to break each of the pieces into smaller fragments, only for the fragments to be sealed in pieces of stone that was once a statue? Since it happens with the big beast, it would be easier to do the same with a smaller and much weaker tail beast. And the more pieces the statue is in, the weaker the tail beast gets as its beak is spread apart from each piece and it's in the mind. So no telling me it can't be done as that's how tail beasts are born. We're talking about sealing away shock, but it's different. They impose the image of a beast upon them, creating creatures from them. You're talking about seeing them in a statue, they're breaking out the statue to smaller pieces.
Yeah, and you're plus. I thought we were talking about demons here, not tail beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, demons are way different.
And the teleportation trap would work, as Doomsday was a trap in 4 teleporters, with him being teleported to each of them at the same time. So he would never be more than 25% integrated and thus unable to think of a plan to escape.
So we bring in DC?
Are you? I don't think you want to use DC. It's like,
Yeah, DC is full of shenanigans, and also Doomsday got out of that.
yeah. Like, the thing is, like, it's comic book logic. It's comic book science, is what it's called.
Yeah,
You know, comic book science is not actual science.
And also, their power system is like there's so many power systems that interact in the world of superheroes in in DC and Marvel comics that they kind of contrast each other. They could do stuff. There's a lot of weirdness that you can't do with them. Like, the difference between Western comics and manga is that manga actually cares about what the author writes, because once the story is done, a manga story is done, it's done.
Like, there is no, like, very rarely will they ever get very rarely will they write more sequels. Which is
especially
which unfortunately isn't the case in anime, because they don't, because name an anime that actually got a second season.
One Punch Man? Second? Multiple seasons? Are we talking about multiple seasons after they're done with the original story, or is this original anime?
Like, anime, they got 1 season, and then there was supposed to be more, but they never did in more than 1 season. It's like The Adventures of Sinbad on Netflix, Maki, The Adventures of Sinbad. They did 1 season. The trailer showed more that was never shown in the first season, and to this day there was still no second season.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's like, when are you going to make a second season?
What was going to happen? And
it's like, this is the story of Sinbad. Why don't we get more of it?
Yeah, Sinbad is like such an easy character to make more stories of.
And especially, it's like Maki, like, we're trying to follow the tale of our beloved perverted man. Like, the beloved perverted king of the 7 seas. He's the guy who has conquered multiple dungeons and has multiple metal vessels.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's still, the logic is like, yeah, that's your explanation, but it's not that good.
It's like, they establish rules and they follow by it. There are a few cases where they break those rules, and people really don't like it when they do so.
Yeah, nobody likes rule breaking in the storytelling.
Yeah. So if you, because they'll point out multiple instances where you stuck by the rules, and then there's this one instance where you just didn't follow them. Butcher is this Naruto's world version of Deathstroke, who is the Ninja World's assassin/mercenary, which means he can fight and hold his own against anyone in Ninja World, as Deathstroke can hold his own just about anyone in DC World. Ha!
Wrong.
Deathstroke's mostly a Batman Rogue Gallery villain.
Yeah, but like Deathstroke is an awesome character, right? And he has done impressive feats. He can hold his own with a lot of different heroes on that, but he's not like he's not that strong as like he could take out Superman at full power.
Yeah, no. He's able to stand toe to toe with Batman.
And probably Wonder Woman, and like he has fought the Teen Titans. He has fought superpower people.
Yeah.
But he's not like
he could stand his own, but he's not that powerful. Like he could stand his own against everybody.
But, yeah, there's a difference between standing. Yeah, he can't just. Yeah, just about anyone. Yeah. What is Butcher? Who Butcher can't stand up to? Other than the fourth Ninja Hokage? Convenient. The guy who's dead.
Even then, it's like the third Hokage exists, the Tsunakage. Like, some of those, like, the Hokage is the most powerful person in the village. Like the Kage, they're called the Kages, which is literally Shadow. The Kages are supposed to be the most powerful ninjas in the village.
Yeah,
you tell me that the only person that can even stand toe to toe with them is a Kage? Are you serious? I doubt it.
Yeah, and like the Hokage is like ninja president.
Yeah, I doubt it's power. But yes, Deathstroke's good at holding his own. In the case of Teen Titans, they're technically, in the case of a few of them, they're like sidekicks, and they're not fully mature heroes.
Yeah. Well, later on, like they are fully matured because they've been around for so long, and Deathstroke has, can fight them still at that point. But that's mostly because like they've been fighting each other for so long.
Yeah, like he's gotten used to so he knows how to fight. So of course he's able to stand on their own. If he fought them on and off again, like every few months or so, and he had developed tasks to defeat him, he would be on the back pedal quite a few times.
Yeah, but he's not invincible.
He's powerful, yes. He's strong. He's strong, but he's not powerful.
Yeah, and also Deathstroke has superpowers too.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he was augmented. He was
he has an insane healing factor. He has his mind can process at faster rates. It's more about enhancing his body rather than giving him like laser eyes or something.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was more like it was enhancements. It made him a faster, stronger, a better soldier. He was essentially a better soldier.
He's basically Captain America.
Yeah, he's essentially Captain America if he was an assassin.
Yep. All right, next chapter, or is there another?
I heard it. The Druid currency works like in the Dragon Age games.
So you really want me to go look up Dragon Age, how they do their currency? It's easier without having to go into the counter to figure out the values of the coins. Then why did you even bring it up? You could have just said, "We give you some gold."
Yeah, it's like you don't have to. It's like you don't have to go that deep. Like not everyone's asking for an accountant lesson.
Yeah, nobody wants to know about. Nobody doesn't care about how many coins, the currency exchange rate. You could just say we have coins of gold and silver.
It's like even in fantasy settings with new currencies, they don't go that in depth into the actual currency, like into the full accounting process. You get the general idea of what it is like.
That's why they use like platinum, gold, silver, copper. Like, if you really want to be creative, you could just say like, "Oh yeah, we don't use metals, we use feathers. If you get a certain type of feather."
Oh my god, imagine creating your entire currency around feathers.
or pens, or nail clippings.
Or better yet, dogs. You mentioned them all in dogs.
Or nefs. How many nefs?
Okay. Okay, great. Now, I'm thinking dirty thoughts now.
Go to horny jail.
Hold on right there. I am the only one that has this bat, so you cannot do it to me.
All right. Let's just go.
The fall. Naruto lay back on his bed of his small apartment. For the last couple of days since he and his team had returned, he's been just staying inside when his team didn't have a job to do. He's been thinking of what his life would be like if he just left everything and went on a ship to the Empire. There he could finally be rid of the demon seal inside of him, and he couldn't think of a good reason for him to stay. You have people here!
Oh my goodness. And plus, like, isn't the whole point is like
his friends matter to him.
And also, like, he wants to make Kurama his friend.
Yeah, it's eventually he makes the fox his friend.
Yes, that's like part of his arc. It's like, yeah, he makes friends with the demon fox.
Talk no jutsu, that exists.
Oh my, why? Like, he makes, like, he's all about friendship. Like, he cares.
My soul, do you want to create unit names in F? Like 1F equals what?
But anyway, so he... can we just summarize, honestly? Like,
he has no family.
No family. He has been alone, other than the third Hokage.
He's had the third Hokage, Iruka, and Teuchi and Ayama, Ichiraku, who run the ramen stand.
Yeah, like, he has, like, his friends before the show is, like, the third Hokage, the people at the ramen stand,
and Iruka. Iruka was essentially... Iruka was the equivalent of the makings of a big brother figure to him.
Yeah. So, like, he had the close friends, and he's the prankster of the town because he wants attention.
Yeah, it's like...
Because he's literally alone.
Yeah, it's like...
And he's literally doesn't have a job because he's too young, and he's literally on government money.
He ain't getting no welfare.
He's on welfare, technically. He's on the family, his parents... like, business model, like, the life insurance sponsored by the state.
He doesn't have any friends, only teammates, as none have ever tried trying to get to know him.
Gaara, like, are we gonna include Gaara, like him trying to convince Gaara not to be a psychopath or something?
If you remember, he and Gaara came from similar circumstances. Like, there's this deeper connection between the two because they both understand each other's pain.
Yeah, and his teammates, like, he view his teammates as his friends. The same with Kakashi. Like,
yeah.
He views anyone nice to him as his friends.
It's like, he's nice to a lot of people, even though they don't like him. It's like, why should he lower himself to hate them?
Yeah, it's like, that's like his philosophy. And then, isn't at this point they have, like, Pervy Sage and...
No, not yet. Pervy Sage doesn't come until the Chunin exams.
Wait, this is still early Naruto?
Yes, we just got finished with the wave arc.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
This is stupid. So basically Naruto is still a kid. It's like...
He's 12 years of age.
Oh no, are they really gonna kill him? Like, I know, like, he dies in the rewrite. Like, they're literally gonna kill Naruto.
No, because apparently they could figure out how to not kill Naruto.
Of course they did.
Yep. And he couldn't think of He's been hanging out on the Roman campus, unlike others, he just walk into the camp. It's like, have you tried knocking?
And also, like, wouldn't, like, people at the village would want to see the Romans?
Yeah,
there would be a lot more, like, people there, like, would actually freak the Romans out. Because my impression of the Hidden Leaf village is that they're a lot more friendlier than the other villages.
Yeah, they're a bit more. They're more amicable.
Like, if anybody new came in, it's like, oh, well, cool, let's hang out.
Yeah.
Like, they would actually be curious, not like doing all this like paranoia.
They smell good. What is that smell?
And plus, I'm pretty sure the Roman soldiers would be the same too.
Yeah, it's like, when you're curious about when you're curious about people you've never seen before, do you not act with this depth of curiosity of how to? It's like, do they not act with this curiosity? Like even in olden times when they've seen something that they never have witnessed before, they are curious. Paranoia comes afterwards.
Yeah, and also I'm pretty sure the Romans okay, we're just waiting here for a couple weeks, and maybe even some of them would justify, oh yes, Commander, we're totally scouting inside. And then we're gonna go hang out at the sake bar, and drink.
They literally just go to the whorehouse.
Yeah, they literally just get drunk and sleep with the ladies or the ladies of the night, or eat a bunch of ramen. Like, come on. Like, wouldn't it be cool if, in this one, in the previous chapter, it was Naruto introducing ramen to the Roman soldier? Just imagine that.
Yeah. He's learning all he can about the Empire from the soldiers. He learned that he has something called a radio. The plays music or radio shows. So
I'm pretty sure they had radios in Naruto.
Oh yeah, they do have radios. They have but it's not like.
Oh my goodness! So this person doesn't even know Naruto lore.
Yeah, it's like they do have radios, but it's not like long range radios. They have to set it up first, and it's very short range. Okay. Its messages are delivered not through radios, but through messenger falcons, messenger hawks. Yeah, messenger hawks. They deliver messages via that.
The Romans are very advanced in many ways, while less advanced in others. One thing, they're very interested in its medical equipment.
How have they not made their own medical equipment? It's like, if you're this advanced to have radios, how come you don't have good medical equipment?
Yeah, that's my question. Really? You don't have medicine? Medicine was not advanced?
It's like, was it Rome? Didn't Rome have a good standard of hygiene?
Yeah, that's how they the aqueducts was. They had public bathrooms and stuff, but also seriously, you want to make this a Roman nation having Civil War era technology, and you give them Druids, but you don't give the Romans the same level of tech when it comes to medicine.
Yeah, he doesn't even bother. They have a portable machine that can play music called a phonograph that plays pre-recorded music. Yeah.
Okay.
Without the need to look through a body to learn about how another ninja body works, they never advance as quickly in medical equipment as the elemental nations did. Are you sure there was no crazy scientist that wanted to cut up people just to see?
Yeah, you would not think. Seriously, there's nobody who thought, oh, let's cut up people.
It's like I'm pretty sure we don't even have a list of all the crazy doctors in existence.
And also, amputees was a thing.
Yeah.
You would think that somebody would thought, oh, let's do this all the time.
Yeah, it's prosthetics. What they do? Okay, we carved you. Okay, your penis is gone, but we carved you a wooden we carved you a wooden one. It's now
so you always have a morning wood.
Whatever you do not let a woodpecker get there. Don't ask. Also, you cannot have marital relations because splinters.
Good thing we coated it in metal, so it won't be as bad.
Yeah.
You just have to oil it up to prevent rusting.
Technology advances in weapons doesn't mean that they don't advance in medicine as much. No.
Well, yeah, of course not. We're not saying that. It's just that you really advance a nation so crazy at one end, but yet another end, which is kind of important.
Wait, I
Like,
think I figured it out. Civ 5 tech tree. That explains it.
So basically, we're playing a civilization game version of the Romans.
Yeah, they have the Civ 5 tech tree. They didn't pick up medicine. It wasn't important.
It wasn't important, even though if you play any of those games, you want to get that. You know, for the sake of public health and stuff.
They picked up the aqueducts, and that's about it.
Oh yeah, that would totally help. After a while. Especially making, like, I don't know, factories to build all these weapons.
Yeah. It's like, we don't understand medicine. You know, I think they figure out how to cure their wounds. They just shoot themselves.
They just shoot themselves, or they have Frankenstein all day.
Oh yeah, that's why they use the druids. The druids are the healers.
Yeah, the Druids. The Druids. It's always about the Druids.
Why through the magic of the druids? You know, why do they even bother doing sieges? They should just set a druid up there, have him toss salt at it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the castle will crumble like it was made out of sandpaper.
Yes. Just have the Druids, have the song being played all the time. That would make people obey the Druids.
The druids.
Yes, the Druids. Okay, let's continue.
You also what they have with them good. He eats noodles all the time. It wasn't just because he likes them, but because it's one of the few things he could get to eat. None of the places that serve food would allow him to eat there. Hello, Ichiraku ramen.
What?
It's like he eats at Ichiraku ramen very regularly.
No. But he eats noodles. It's because of the few things he could get to eat. None of the places serve.
I mean, we do.
I'm pretty sure other places would allow him to eat.
Yeah, there's the Ichiraku ramen place, but what we do know from episode 3 from his situation, he doesn't really have much. What he eats that day as his breakfast is ramen noodles and an expired what's it, I don't know what I'm thinking of, an expired carton of milk. So he doesn't do shop. So it's
So he doesn't like cook his food or shop at all.
We don't know the situation of why he doesn't have much in the way of foods. It would stuff. For all we know, it could be because he doesn't earn enough, or because he doesn't have much,
or does he just doesn't buy that stuff? It could be that simple. Like he just.
Yeah, it's like he buys cheap things because he doesn't have much of a budget, so he can't really afford.
Or he's spending his money on like frivolous things.
No, his apartment's like run down. No, his apartment's not really all that extravagant.
Yeah.
He just has copies of the exact same outfit. He just has multiple versions of that one outfit. Yeah. Drew.
Man, then that's crappy healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crappy welfare.
Yeah.
They really need the Hidden Leaf Village needs to work on their welfare plan.
But the Roman camp, even if they knew he has a demon title, it just didn't matter to them. He's just served Naruto he's just Naruto to them and nothing else.
What? I don't imagine Romans to act that way. They're more like straight face and more. Maybe that's why they accept it, because they're so straight, they're so bland.
Yeah. Took a liking to him as he didn't complain about cooking. He likes the potatoes and corn the cook serves at the mess hall. They're a new kind of food brought over from a whole landmass that the Romans now control, aka their homeland.
Yeah, it's like, and also it's like, yeah, he likes any. I'm pretty sure, based on his archetype, he likes anything new food. He likes food in general.
Yeah, it's like, considering his financial situation, he would never complain about food. Like, food's not a complaint. It's like, food is food. It's just that ramen's his favorite food.
All right, I need to use the bathroom. How about you just continue and on it?
Okay, Naruto, are you home? Kakashi voice shouted as he knocks on the door. What do you want? Naruto asked loud enough for him to hear. The Hokage wants to meet with you, Kakashi said. I'll be there, Naruto said. At the Roman camp. And I'll just wait for him to come back right quick. Shusty is in the armory, a newly built wooden building in the camp. There are no windows, and the only source of light is the electrical lights being powered by the stream power generator they had brought along. They carried a mother effing generator. Okay. I'ma just wait. Some of the soldiers are working on a power line to connect to the village power grid. What? You want to... Like, hey, let's siphon off your power for a bit. Thanks. They've already got at their houses also have us having running water would be nice, but they're not going to be staying that long. Outhouses don't use water, though. Oh, they're literally a latrine dug. An outhouse is a latrine with just a cover over it. It's like, unless they brought porta potties. Bring along porta potties. Inside the map army with her is Dutchy, who's in charge of keeping stock of the weapons. He's an extremely muscular and big, dark-skinned man who wields a massive peppermill crank gun that's as large and heavy as he is. The peppermill is hand-shanked, letting out a volley of bullets that can tear just about anything to pieces. It's such a massive weapon that uses as a club, smashing anyone who gets in his way. I'm surprised that weapon has a break-in if they smashes people with it. It uses the same bullets that heavy machine guns use, giving it greater firepower than the new light Gatling guns.
All right.
Hey,
So what is Kakashi wants?
Don't know, but the Akatsuki wants to see him. Wants to see. We'll talk with Naruto.
That's it. That's it.
That's because they cut to the Roman camp. Guess what? They brought along a generator.
They have a generator.
Yes, a steam-powered generator.
Of course, it's steam-powered, which means there's supposed to be cold nearby. How did they get the?
Well,
Whatever.
I don't know if he says meant to be steam since it said stream.
Stream. What did they bring the generator next to a waterfall?
Well, and that's all. They're hooking up the power line to the village's main power grid. You know, because why live in the same city as they do and just use their power grid? Let's just freaking hijack it from outside.
That totally sounds like a declaration of war.
As having running water would be nice, but they're not going to be staying that long. Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm gonna say that. They already got the outhouses set up. Inside the
They've been there for a week, right?
Yeah, they got outhouse. Yeah, they have outhouses set up.
Yeah, I mean, like the sentence is, "Oh, we're not planning to stay here for very long." A week passed by.
Inside the army with her is Dutchy, who is in charge of keeping stock of the weapons. It's, he's an extremely muscular, big, dark-skinned man who wields a massive peppermill crank gun that's as large and heavy as he is. And the thing about that crank gun is that it's so massive that he occasionally uses it as a weapon, like a melee weapon. He hits some people over the head with it's a club. I don't know how that weapon's still intact. You never want to do it's not easy headbutting someone with your gun, because that could actually mess it up if you're not careful. But what do you think the most common weapon used to knock you out with the rifle is an AK-47? The stock is made out of wood. Everything they built suggests to me that they're going to create a permanent military base.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's like you don't a temporary encampment. It's a temporary encampment, yes, but it depends on how long it's going to be there for. Like, if it's going to be for a week, you're going to set up some basic stuff that's going to be easy to get rid of. You'll just dig a latrine, and then when you're about to leave, you set that shit on fire.
Yeah, by the time they built it, looks like they're about to do a siege. Honestly.
Yes, all of them. Dutchy said, working on a work desk, doing some work on some guns.
They had time to build a desk?
They just carried a desk with them. No, that explains how they got all the stuff here. Dutchy was just carrying them. He's very muscular. You know, all this stuff carrying on his back. Yeah, so that explains why they got the
Of course, they have revolvers.
The broadsider, standard issue sidearm, a semi-automatic pistol. What?
Just say a revolver.
No, this is a semi-auto, like a 45 Colt.
Yeah, no, like a semi-auto, what it means is that you pull the trigger and it fires the bullet. That's all it means. It's not like the reloading mechanism. Technically, revolvers count. I don't know legally about that, but it could be.
Revolver. Like, you could be right.
Like semi-automatic, but just type in what it means by semi-automatic.
What is a semi-automatic gun? Semi-automatic firearm is called a self-loading or auto-loading firearm. Is one whose action mechanism automatically loads a following round of cartridge into the chamber and prepares for subsequent firing, but requires the shooter to manually actuate the trigger in order to discharge each shot. So essentially, it's a gun that you never have to worry about doing an extra action in order to fully load it. Oh yeah, the Model 80. Okay, mostly they were to refer to rifles.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, they were mostly used to refer to rifles. But I don't think, yeah, no, when revolvers don't count. You know, you have to cock back the hammer in order to load in the next bullet properly.
So literally, this is a Colt.
Yeah, it's a Colt.
It's a Beretta. It's a Beretta. It's a 50 cal.
It's a 1945. It's a 45. What's it called? I think it's called the end. No, what's the model number? Well, actually,
I think
the 1911. That's it. Because I think that was the type of weapon used around the time, like World War One, World War Two. Oh, yeah, let me make sure I got this right. Hang on. The M1911, made in 19. Okay, put in service in one. Pretty appropriately, it was put into service in 1911. So the 1911 gun just happened to be issued in 1911, and it's still used to this day.
The Zeus cannon, they have a rocket launcher.
Wow, they have an RPG. Also, what kind of name is that? The Zeus cannon. I'm sorry, but for naming it Zeus, it better impregnate some women. If it doesn't make anyone wet, then it does not. Then you are false advertising it. It's like, it's better to call it the Hades.
That or it shoots lightning.
Now you're just false advertising.
Yeah, a Zeus cannon. Why did you call it a Zeus cannon? Because it's a cool name. Wait, you don't have a cool name for this? A double barrel shotgun that has been modified with a double revolver mechanism, allowing the gun to fire 6 shots before reloading? Man, that's also impractical.
Yeah, no, that completely defeats the purpose of the double barrel shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the thing is that the double barrel shotgun carries a lot of oomph to it. Like, that'll hurt. Like, all shotguns hurt, but a double barrel will hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The double, like, is that it uses 2 shells. A volley gun that fires explosive shells. It's a handheld mortar when firepower is needed. They have mortars.
Oh my goodness.
Well, or at least did the soldiers at least take geometry, trigonometry, as well as a bunch of math classes for the
Nihilus got a good point. Zeus is the Greek god. He is named Saturn by the Romans.
Yeah. It should. In this case, it should be called a Mars. You know, Ares.
Mm-hmm.
But really, he gave them a mortar.
A handheld mortar at that.
The handheld mortars bull. There is no handheld mortars. There are portable mortars.
Yet they have leather armor.
Leather armor. No Kelvar. could look Kelvar at this point. But what were BDUs made out of? Like, at the time, it would be used. But, okay, 1980s. Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Combat uniforms. Oh, no, battle dress. Actually, just look for battle dress. Oh. Never mind then. No, I just need to look up what it is, but they would be using like, stuff made out of, like, what were standard uniforms made out of? I think it was like some, like, it was mostly cloth, but it was some pretty thick cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Kelvar was developed, when Kelvar was developed, it was like to protect you even more. So this time you don't die faster. You'll survive a couple shots in with the regular stuff, but they did get like better with their BTU, so you could take more shots before you go down, but you were still pretty weak if they got you in the right spot. You know. We can't have any of them disappearing on us, not at this early stage. I see those ninjas jumping around on buildings. Kind of reminds me of the monkeys in the jungle. They're stronger thanks to the chakra they pump into their bodies. But being stronger means nothing compared to sheer firepower.
My goodness.
It just means you have to hit them harder.
Yes, we have to hit you harder.
So you're trying to operate by the more DACA is better philosophy?
So basically the Warhammer strategy?
No, that's just the orc strategy. More DACA.
More DACA, we're gonna fire.
They literally just make a cheap, like they'll make it cheap and it looks like it shouldn't function at all, but it does because they think it will. Like they think harder.
Yeah, I know. They have like insane abilities where if they think it happens, it works, it works.
Yeah. They can literally just make a ship and just attach nothing but guns to it and it will work.
Yeah, and even if they ran out of ammo, if they think they have ammo.
There's no what are you talking about? They don't believe in the concept of ammo. They just believe that it just shoots. If it shoots, it shoots. There is no two ways about it. Accuracy, what's that? It just shoots.
It just shoots with oh my.
She turns to the leather armor laid on the table. It's made out of fireproof leather and fabric.
How?
Okay, it's still flammable.
It's still organic material.
If it's something that lives, if it's organic, it can burn. And technically, humans can burn as well. Don't catch fire now.
Yeah, okay. With a simple welding mask, with
large leather pauldrons and boots. The head is a simple welding mask, which covers the whole head. Which covers the whole head.
Worst helmet to wear, by the way.
Yeah.
However, the most immediate obvious aspect of the armor is the glowing red metal machinery that is attached to the arms and back. The torch armor makes the wearer a walking firestorm. The hoses connecting to the arms fires Greek fires that can burn even on water. The suit has a cooling system built into it to keep them safe from their own fire. The armor has been tested by using it near lava, and the wearer doesn't seem to feel the heat. The torch suit, like, it just says your arms and your back.
You stand next to lava, you don't feel the heat.
You'll still die.
Yeah.
from the smoke.
Yeah. And also, mind you, lava's hotter. Fire's hot, but lava's hotter.
I get it. He's trying to use it as like, oh yeah, this thing will never catch on fire, and you will never burn up in it or be boiled.
Okay, Icarus.
Yeah, this is kind of, but could you just? It has a cooling system, so the weakness is hitting the cooling system.
Well, she says it's a BS, like it's built into the cooling system, it's built into it. Then it's not an effective cooling system.
Yeah, you just input like a simple hammer strike. Well, a well-placed hammer strike will make that cooling system go bye-bye.
Not at all. It's also the immediate reaction of a lot of kinetic force may cause the fuel to combust. Like enough force, and you will send something jostling.
So you literally just have to shoot the barrel.
Yeah, it's the walking red explosive barrel trope.
They literally have so the Roman army are literally have little units that are walking exploding barrels. Totally not exploited by ninjas. Whatever. Like ninjas will never exploit this weakness. That you just have to do is throw a rock super fast.
I still don't see why we even brought that thing. Sure, it's awesome, but impractical. Well, sure, it's great for psychological warfare, but really? Well, the suit was originally designed for the firefighters and for others who work with fire to wear. Sus, he said. Besides, having a weapon like this will help us, because, besides, in case we need to fight against... Why use besides twice? It's just in case. In case we need to fight against the Leaf Ninjas, I would think they would try to find it hard to fight this fire, so I'm guessing they never had to deal with Greek fire before. What is this Greek fire you were speaking of?
It's a special compound that was made by the Greeks. It's a long lost where it's fires that literally was having a hard time being put out.
Ah.
It's a legendary weapon. Old weapon that is no longer made. It's like early napalm.
So it's napalm.
It's well, yeah, they call it Greek fire, but modernly, yeah, it would be probably napalm.
Oh. Okay,
They made old napalm.
Ye old-fashioned napalm.
Yes, that's what Greek fire is, napalm.
Okay, although the exact references of closely guarded secret, light petroleum or naphtha are known to be one of the main ingredients. This was probably sourced from the Crimea. It has been speculated that Greek fire probably consisted of a mixture of petroleum, pitch, sulfur, pine, or cedar resin, lime, and bitumen.
Alright, so let's just see. They will try to fight the blaze with water jutsus before they find out that water spread the flames, and to be useful to deal with the summons. Since unless they can take the heat, being sprayed with flaming gel will take care just about any summon beasts. How about the guys who can control fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure there's special jutsus that allows you to literally manipulate fire.
That, and technically, it's fire, right? It'll go in any direction the wind blows, right?
Oh yeah, all you need to do is the wind. Or even like you could use the water jutsu to manipulate the fire to go to your side.
It's like, that's kind of impractical, don't you think?
Yeah. All you need is the creative minds of like a Araki or something or like a manga artist to know that, oh yeah, I'll come up with a way that these characters can.
Oh my god, just watch. Oh my god, it'd be so funny if a Rocky came down from the heavens and then just dropped a bit of water on the Roman side and then it went their direction.
Yeah, or it's like, oh yes, you seem to have caught my stat on fire, but you see, I have manipulated. I was expecting you to do that. I used it so I can move the fire directly at you.
Yeah, it's like I'm expecting a Rocky. Our joke. We should probably write our old version of a battle is going to probably take place soon, and then we just say that a Rocky that comes out of nowhere.
No, we just said, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden, this JoJo character showed up and screwed it up somehow. All of a sudden, the Pillarmen show up.
Yeah,
cars ends up crashing, like cars ends up crashing right on top of Romans, and was like, I'm finally free. Like, his brain is just like processing after, being trapped for decades, like, Where
Yeah.
am I?
Yeah, he eventually stopped thinking.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, like, the war outside just kickstart his adrenaline. Like, there's a battle going on. You're no longer in space.
Yeah, oh my god. We could
And then
write.
they go, then vampire squirrels.
We just make a series of fanfics that trash his Roman Fox.
Oh yeah, basically, we just like have like here's how like we have a serious one where we take the concept of Rome invading the world of Naruto seriously, and then we just do some stupid ones.
Like Araki spawning a JoJo character there.
Like all of a sudden, it's discovered that actually in the world of Naruto, stands exist.
It's Dio will wake it. He's like Zawarudo.
Boom! And now we have to have our good Roman characters team up with Naruto and this alternate version of JoJo characters to fight.
Yeah, they go on a training adventure, so that when they come back, they're taller than everyone else and they have more muscles.
And turns out they have stands as well.
Yeah. You'll have to fight the blaze with water juice. Basically, okay, we could just use a sling to toss giant glass bottles. It's like, hey, here's a solution I have where we'll just flirt them with Greek fire. We could just sling bottles at them. Like Molotov cocktails. It's boring, but it's practical.
Yeah. We can, but since we already have it,
we should use it.
Hey, the Shasti! Oh, the campus go.
It's Frank!
Wait, Frank?
Wait, there's two Franks? Jesse came into the army holding a ball in his head. He's an overweight man who lost his leg during a raid a couple of years ago. He stayed in the army by becoming a cook. He could have replaced his peg leg with a Hephaestus, but didn't want to, as it's very painful.
So they have technology they have prosthetics.
Yes, and those prosthetics can also be guns. Meaning they could... Don't ask how, but those prosthetics can also be guns.
They're medical technology. Oh, total trash. Okay.
Right? But listen, gun prosthetics.
But hey, the Dusty! It's me, the Flanko, the frankincense. It's me, Fossey.
What is it this time? Just the
ass. Bad keeps trying to get it to my kitchen. Oh,
Drake said, tossing the ball at her. What, again? Shasti says the ball rolled it, revealing a small armored animal.
That armadillo always trying to get something to eat.
Dutchy said. Well, Tanker is always running around.
I could always make him into a meal.
Now, you know that armadillo meat is gluey like horse meat. And eating them is a poor man's meal like lobster.
Yeah.
Lobster's a poor man's meal?
Yeah, it was. And now it's until we fished so much lobster that it's more of a delicacy now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. I
like lobster. Besides, why pay more for food when something cheaper is right there? Just to show that you could afford it, Shasti said. Good point. Tanker just gave me an idea. If animal summons is common around here, it would mean that there would be animal summons for different lands. Figure out a way to summon animals that aren't around here, Frank said. Ask.
Oh, no. Figure out a way to summon animals that are around here?
From what I heard, the strongest summon in the Elite Village is a huge red toad. Just think, if a toad's that powerful, then how powerful would a rhino summon be? But there are no rhinos.
There are no rhinos.
I think a lot of the summons were based upon animals that already existed within Asia.
Yeah, and also mythological powers. So if a rhino just shows up, it would be just a giant rhino.
Yeah. It's like, rhino summons. That makes sense. No.
Unless the rhino has a special ability.
It's like, pandas make more sense.
Yes, pandas.
You want to know
Now
why?
I'm just thinking, what if the rhino has a stand?
You know, I actually, well, the one advantage the panda summons have over all the other summons,
What?
opposable thumbs.
Yes, and they're cute.
Yeah, I'm. What wooden prosthetics are alright, but weapon slash metal prosthetics are ridiculous. Even we at our current time have no weapon prosthetics. I don't include metal weapons here. I mean firearm prosthetics.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Like
At the
they
whole,
literally end up with exclamation point. Who does that? Kogaya. I'm here. Naruto said.
he stood in front of the Hokage.
So is this the old man?
Yeah, it's the old man.
Naruto, I have been getting reports that you have been spending much of your free time in the Roman camp.
You just sound like you're afflicted with. Well, you don't sound old enough. You just sound like you're afflicted with with a very old man disease.
I'm old. Who are you again? Who are you?
It's the only place that don't treat me as the demon, Naruto said flatly.
No. You can't be thinking of joining them. Think of the village. You know, the village have been treating so well. Look at your welfare checks.
A village that only sees me as the fox. If I join them, they could be able to get rid of the fox.
Well, to be fair, Naruto, that fox really did a number on this village, as you know. And also, Naruto, they could be lying.
Or telling the truth, and you're just worried he'll use a weapon.
I don't think of you as a weapon, Naruto. What are you again? You look like a Hunter character.
You just you need to you need to cough more. You have asthma from smoking your pipe.
What?
You smoke your pipe, so you also.
I don't know. I'm just trying to do like a most stereotypical old man voice.
Besides, everyone now knows I had the demon sealed inside me. Nope, not everyone. And my teammates are scared of me, so why shouldn't I just quiet, and have the demon be ripped free of me?
You know what will happen. You'll become a missing ninja and be hunted down.
No, the Akatsuki blabbed and said he had the demon fox.
Yeah, so I've been hunted down by angry mobs for years now. Really? No, you have not. All you have been is just been everyone being socially distancing from you.
In fact, even that part about the angry mobs, that's more of a fanon thing than it's a canon thing.
And also, like, anytime they get angry at you is because you've been just doing practical jokes on everyone.
Yeah. It's like they're more annoyed at you and some are more superstitious of you.
And, like, the parents don't want to have their kids near Demon Fox because it's a Demon Fox that could just pop out at any time and cause havoc.
Yeah. And you read the reports of how powerful the Romans' weapons are. You really want to fight against them? Sure, you can kill the commanders of the army, but the armory's trained to be able to fight without a leader. No.
No.
That's not how an army works. There's only so long that snake without a head will writhe around before it eventually drops dead. Like, cut off the head of a snake and it will die eventually.
Yeah, and, yeah.
And in most cases, an army without a leader is a chicken running around with its head cut off.
Yeah, and that's a guarantee of a rout.
Yeah. Like, killing a...
Especially if your army is only together is because of that leader.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but if you kill all the commanders, then nobody's going to listen to each other. They're of the same rank, so like, why should I listen to you?
Yeah, or is like you need commanders to make sure there's disagreements. Like their priority once the commander is slain is like, okay, we can't have the army to be destroyed right now, so we need to retreat. All right, let's just
Let's keep going. And it can lose numbers that would wipe out all. And it can lose numbers that would wipe out all ninjas in every village and still have numbers to rebuild their army. No,
no, not really. Like because they have an empire to take care of.
it's like it's like kill enough soldiers, they would eventually just don't want to see the point of it anymore.
Yeah, they just will just leave. They wouldn't just they just go, oh, lost cause. We're not.
Ask why did the Russians stay in Afghanistan? They have the numbers to replace their army.
Yeah. Things will get better for you, Naruto.
Yes, it will when I leave this place.
Kakashi!
Yes.
I want you to get Sakura and Sasuke to start treating Naruto better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they.
Is it that easy just to say, hey, you need to treat him better?
Unclear. That's not mission, bro, ninja. Oh god, my left lung.
And the top mission for all ninja is to stop any attacks on Naruto. We can't lose him to these Romans. They have been fighting up people who have been attacking him.
And I can't wait after I've had a wank. The Fire Lords are right here. It'll look bad for us if we suddenly attack them all defending one of our own.
Kakashi, do these Romans really have the power to defeat us? Oh no, we're gonna repeat the same thing. Like, oh yes, they're so powerful. Can we just abbreviate? Is this true? Is there anything new? Anything funny?
They see how they trade, unarmed, they just have upper hand, more bodies to throw at us. Soldier skill, just kind of fighting all with debt. Guns make fighting useless, like that. Since melee attacks be dead before they even get close. Soldiers and shadows against them. It'll just slow them down before they just throw.
So same paragraph as his argument, his thesis of why his army would totally defeat the Naruto ninjas.
They just throw peasants at the problem. Like Bretonia. But you know what? At least Bretonia trains their peasants. They just don't bother paying them.
Yeah. I feared that. If it comes to the war, Naruto and the others, with the tail beasts sealed within him, will be our greatest weapons to fight the Romans. If they remain royal, that is.
Hey, Akage, your left eye is, rolling.
What's wrong, Akage? You're rolling your eye.
No, it would be bad for us if during a battle Naruto suddenly switched sides.
That's not how it usually works, by the way. Usually when a person switches battles, it's a whole unit.
Yeah, no, and that's at all. He's not trained to use the Nine-Tails Fox, so it's about as useful as... What's the equivalent I could use? It's as useful as setting your dung on fire.
Yeah. Which is why we need to regain his trust and loyalty to the village.
I think you need to enter your catheter.
I don't care. I'm out. Okay? I'm out. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get died by Snake Man.
Easier said than done. Then.
That it is.
So I just said, as that's a long, hard road for the village to get Naruto to remain loyal. Akatsuki HQ. Wow, the Romans managed to find them.
What?
They found the Akatsuki HQ.
Okay, let's just summarize. This is...
Blah, 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 blah. The Akatsuki
Of course,
because
Butcher's being incredibly awesome.
yeah, and apparently some mission ninja with weapon stealing scrolls gave them to the Romans, so they were capable of carrying all their super powerful tier and high tier level gear there. You know, from all that gear they totally did do the EA route with like their credit cards.
And somehow Butcher managed to gather most of the members of the Akatsuki in their base and blow it up so that they had to fight in the open.
Which doesn't explain how, if especially, here's the thing, it's not clear where the Akatsuki headquarters is. They have a place where they can meet, but they never do have a meeting place. They don't even talk to each other like that. They use holograms. Or rather, a version of hologram that works in their world.
And, oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, Obito and Madara, you know, the two like top bad guys of the whole series, are heavily wounded, by the way.
Oh boy, his bloodline jutsu is impossible to use against Butcher. Since any kind of mind jutsu doesn't work.
That is stupid.
Oh no. Oh, they have grape shots. And he used a speed jutsu, and apparently the Akatsuki members did think of that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Mind you, Pain literally just has to say the words, or Shinra Tenshi, and they all be dead. Taking headshots at the followed by more
sniper rifles, of course, and
gas bombs shot by mortars.
Yeah, they literally killed off all the main bad guys.
They gas the city. The Roman Empire isn't a misogynist or have anything against race.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Oh yeah, okay. Honestly, the most funniest notes is the author's notes, because in this chapter, we have like two major stupid things of like, oh, we killed the bad guys, you know, the main bad guys through the entire series off.
Oh, until Kaguya came in.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen now because, you know, you need the Akatsuki.
Yeah.
You gotta need them because Obito is kind of important.
Yeah.
And now basically you have a bunch of Mary Sues running around killing them all. So, yeah, by the way, main conflict of the series is over.
Thanks.
So why are we gonna continue reading this?
Let's keep watching it. Let's keep reading and find out. We're not even on 10th chapter, I think.
Oh, no.
As it was a woman who saved the empire from falling, allowing women to enter the workforce in high office.
Stupid. Oh, so you were correct. You were right.
As for race, the Romans have no problems with other races, so they see any people who aren't Romans as barbarians.
No, there's more nuance to that, but whatever.
But with the empire having expanded, many races now are part of the empire without any history of looking down upon a person because of the color of their skin.
By the way, would you think at this point they will have like critical race theory?
Yeah, critical race theory. They should also have queer theory.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna assume at this point, if we're gonna really follow the line of logic here, like, okay, this empire has everything, and they took out the church, pretty much. Yeah, they're gonna have critical race theory going on, and they're gonna have like problems within the empire.
As it was in the real, it's common to see people of different colors working low to high-ranking jobs. As it was in the real-life Roman Empire, as during the Empire days, there was nothing against mixing blood. Once you became a citizenship, you have all the rights with anyone else in the Empire.
Yeah, basically in the Roman Empire, if you were born, you could buy your citizenship, or if you were just born within Roman control, you're automatically a Roman citizen.
Yeah.
It's just that they treated you differently based on like other stuff, like more local issues, because the Roman empires had at times were very loose on their ruling style.
The suit is like the real suits people wear to be able to stand near lava, which we wouldn't develop for a long time.
Yes.
It would cost just about anything to burst into flames by the heat alone. The weapons are based on Bioshock.
Of course, that explains why the weapons are not Civil War era.
Funnily enough, there is a Bioshock Roman Fox episode. Shockingly enough, there is a Bioshock Roman Fox story. Yes, he has. He has written one.
Of course.
Yep. Which the Romans have worked out all the design flaws and other flaws that the weapons would have in real life.
Okay, continue.
They're also as tough as an AK-47, as they can be left in a puddle of mud for months and still be usable. How lucky that they managed to create a weapon that was able to last as long as an AK-47.
Yeah, like how durable, like, and how it can, without oil or anything, and...
Plus, the Romans had their Industrial Revolution over 200 years ago.
Yeah, so in 200 years, they have like the equivalent of Full Metal Alchemist, as this author point. Full Metal Alchemist, like a replacement live, but when it comes to medicine,
apparently they were too stupid enough to figure out medicine.
Yeah, they were very dumb. They can solve everything, like except for medicine.
Their tech just, like the ninja, some of their tech fields is advanced while other fields lacking. Like how they have full metal like replacement limbs. Their tech just went to another field that what the elemental nations have, which they will take and make it their own. As this is one reason why the Romans did so well, is that they're not above taking an idea that come from someone else. Yeah, like they took a lot of things with Greeks.
Yeah, much like any empire, any military force, anybody.
Yeah.
Period.
And the main reason why they have some very advanced tech while lacking others is the same reason why the ninjas have advanced medical equipment and computer monitors while having no TV or cars. Just because that's the person who wrote the manga put those tech in while not giving other things is to give the ninjas a reason to even have a reason to exist in the first place. Like, would you pay a ninja to safely transport you to another city by walking for a couple days or get into your car or a bus?
Also, it's like the whole world building, as far as my knowledge of world building, is that nobody really leaves their villages as much because
it's very dangerous. It's dangerous.
And then also in Naruto, all the tribes had like this animosity because it just happened to be a war that happened recently.
Yeah, there are three.
People are still alive.
There were three whole Shinobi World Wars.
And people are still alive from those wars. And like a lot of the plot of this of Naruto revolves around the consequences.
Like, we still feel they were alive from World War II.
Yeah. And then also it's like the reason they just don't do all the like TVs and stuff, it's like you could easily explain is that no free markets. Like all these cities seems to be more militaristic. And like the one thing the military doesn't really like doing is advancing in technologies without a direct military applications. Usually it takes a private industry to invent something, and then the military sees it and they go, "Oh, that's a good idea."
How can we use it to kill people?
Yeah, what's the advantage of a vehicle on wheels?
Yeah. It's like, that's actually why big technological advancements came from war. Because they figured out how to kill people with it, and then somebody went with that, like, I wonder what would be a more civilian-like use for this.
Or it's like a civilian, or the opposite can happen, where the civilian came up with this thing, and then the military goes, "Oh, that's a good idea.
This will make killing people easier."
Yeah. Or it will save some guys, our troops.
Yeah. Lobsters used to be known as a poor man's food, as they were once only eaten by people who were that desperate for food before it became a gourmet food item like fish eggs. I figured that the reason there aren't any elephant or rhino summons is that the elemental countries don't have those animals, so the ninjas don't even know those summons are around. No, it's because it's based around Asia, and Asia have those kind of animals. Like elephants in India, yes, but India is considered a subcontinent.
Yeah, and also like if like you bring up like America, if we wanted to make a world based on America stuff, there's a whole bunch of animals we're not going to include.
Yeah,
because we're not including them because they're from America.
yeah,
We want to be close to America as possible.
yeah. Just watch. We have the most boring animal selection.
Well, actually, they're kind of cool. Like we have some actually cool animals. Like we have cool variants of animals.
Yeah,
Like we don't have exotic animals. We have like cool variants.
we have 3 different flavors of wolves.
Yeah, and we got different kinds of bears.
It's eagles out the ass.
And not to mention gators and crocodiles.
Yeah, we're
Snakes,
all
reptiles, squirrels.
Hey, we do not have elephants, but we have all kinds of other animals.
Yeah, we don't have elephants or
Panda
rhinos.
bears.
We have dangerous ones.
It's if here's 12 different flavors of bears, all of which are just all have the same temperament.
No, actually, grizzly bears are a lot worse than.
Oh my god! Except the grizzly bear. Do not fuck with the grizzly.
Yes.
Also, we have scorpions.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. So I figured out that the reason that there aren't any. Okay. Oh no. We already did that.
Okay. So if snakes, frogs, and sloths can be giants, and how big would something that was already big to begin with would be?
That would ruin the appeal.
Yeah, Butcher can disable jutsus for a couple of hours. Once he uses his jutsu that disables them, while ninjas with Alba Live can still strengthen their bodies with chakra, it still means that they have to fight against Butcher or any kind of jutsu. And Butcher
That
is
is
not.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like, no, Deathstroke doesn't have the ability of canceling out of powers.
Like right here, and Butcher is Naruto's word Deathstroke, and anyone who read the comics knows that he can hold his own against just about anyone.
You said that in the last one.
Yeah. And if there's a Naruto's world use jutsus more than fighting skills. The reason why people with that kind of power isn't often shows that it's a game-breaking power. Yeah, it's a game-breaking power. You think? It's a game-breaking power. So you fix this by bringing in another game-breaking power.
Yeah, you literally do that, and
you literally destroyed the entire tension. You destroyed all manners of tension.
You destroyed the magic system.
He just went and destroyed everything.
Yeah, you. This isn't like a fun deconstruction. Like this isn't like a interesting deconstruction. Like honestly, at this point, I think it's just better if we just read the author's notes of what happens, or just like brief read-throughs of what goes on. Because reading it's. I'm not sure if like it's not as crazy as like the stuff I heard from Soundwave's Alliance, where it's like some hilarity. I'm like, oh man, this is Transformers Prime, but oh my goodness, there's dark stuff in here.
Yeah, like Soundwave being M-pregged.
Yeah, or Soundwave like saying my parents considered me changing my gender because girls sold at a higher profit.
Yeah, it's like. And Berserk makes a big.
Like at this point, we know what he's gonna do. Like,
it's like it's like the stage has already been set. We know It's like the reason why we read through it is to see how horribly he can go.
Yeah, it's like. So I think it's better just to do some like general reads. Just like, okay, what does he do this time?
Yeah, it's like don't read that. Like, let's not read. Like, let's skim the dialogue and just read the actions.
Yeah, because literally the dialogue at this point is just repeating the same thing. It's like, oh, these robots are very powerful. They're so much better than Ash.
Not at all. Unless once the one who lost their fire skills still is tough enough to fight without powers, and most ninja of the Runner's world put too much in learning jutsus than learning to fight without them. No, they encourage you just diversifying your skills outside of jutsus. Taijutsu is still a regularly trained skill, and so is. And surprisingly, it's rare that there's a ninja that practices kenjutsu.
And also, isn't like for example, Akashi's his eye thing? Is that a jutsu or is that not?
No, it's a bloodline. It was given to him by Obito. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
that has a broken power set. Like,
He broke the magic system. He took what's established and broke it. There's a clear reason why poison gas isn't used anymore.
well, it's very good at killing. It's not as good as killing as
It's just
sudden.
too good at killing. As any sudden wind dance, Jade will bullet gas back at you.
No, okay, yeah, and
Yeah.
also it's because gas is just indiscriminate, and like the over abuse of gas during World War One, it like ruins lands for decades.
Yeah.
So
So-
it's not even like a good tactical. It's not a good long term use.
Like, you're better off napalming the area than you are setting it ablaze with gas.
And plus, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Of course, civilians will get killed.
But so if that's the case, then Romans deploy gas. Ninja uses wind jutsus, sends it back at the Romans.
You can build up immunity to poisons and venoms, like how snake handlers and beekeepers aren't affected as much to their
Yeah,
animals'
It's
poison.
more like you gradually build up your immunity. You start small and you keep going up.
Yeah, and then there's a whole myth of a king myth of deity. It's actually Roman times of where he got so used to he, as part of his meal, is to incorporate a little poison, and so he tried poisoning himself for suicide. Didn't work.
Yeah. It's like, there's one convenient way to get rid of him out the window.
Yeah, never saw it, never seen it coming.
Hey, bye.
Okay,
Your last surprise. Okay.
you put in so much effort into the blog. Okay, so she's training Naruto, but swords against swords. Okay, fine. Two
Wow.
swords.
Okay, dual wielding is a strange thing. You can't pull it off, but it's not easy. Like, it's not as effective
That's
as
the way you're supposed to dual wield. Is the best way to dual wield, as based on what I heard, is you use a smaller blade with a bigger blade.
yeah.
You don't use the same size blades.
It's very like cumbersome, in fact, because it will require really good hand-eye coordination, since you lack a lot of the defense that a shield will grant you.
Yeah, and also you need to awareness
Yeah.
of where you're swinging your swords and stuff. Okay, and then Sashi, you should use shields, a big tower shield.
The tower shields are made out of a heavy alloy called titanium.
Of course, they made titanium. Let's just
I
go.
am titanium.
All right, let's go. It's strong enough to block bullets and small bombs.
They make titanium the standard issued shield. Are you high?
I'm pretty sure titanium is very heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. Titanium is a heavy metal.
Like titanium is like, isn't that used for battleships, for boats?
It is the atomic weight of titanium is 47.867, which per pound it is, it's titanium and steel. Actually, it's actually 45% lighter than steel.
How durable?
It's pretty durable.
Can it stop a bullet?
Let me see here. Titanium stop a bullet. No, if it's a high power military firearm, like the kind that they use to penetrate tanks, no. And if it's a high caliber bullet, it could probably take a single hit from it, but it will shatter and become penetrable with multiple hits from military armed AP rounds.
So the Romans had the worst weapon to use. Like, just imagine a rock to be like. I just imagine, like, because it's an anime, is that these characters can throw rocks like tiny pebbles so fast it could be like equivalent of a high power bullet.
Yeah, let me see here. Titanium military usage. What is titanium used in? Titanium is used for aircraft parts, missiles, armor plating, and naval ships.
Oh my goodness, the worst. Like, so basically, parts that won't get into the fray as much.
Yeah, and they're also used in. They're also spaceships have components made out of titanium.
Okay, so basically, so they actually are using a material worse than steel.
They're making it's as strong as steel, but it's strong. Actually, it's stronger than steel. Actually, it's as strong as steel and is lighter than steel. But and it's twice as strong as aluminium, but it's 60% heavier than aluminium.
Oh my goodness!
But the thing with titanium, it's valuable.
And also, how would you like? I'm pretty sure making titanium is like a very expensive process.
Yeah, it's
Like above the power, like the technological levels of the Romans.
like here.
Oh, we should look at Author Notes 1. Like, Author Notes 1 will explain everything to us.
Okay, hang on. Titanium is extracted from its ore, rutilite, titanium oxygen 2. It's rutile. It is first converted into titanium 4 chloride, which is then reduced to titanium using either magnesium or sodium. The ore rutilite, impure titanium oxide, is heated with chlorine and coke at a temperature of about 100,000 degrees Celsius.
So, is it a more expensive process?
Let's see. Steel process. Okay, thank you. Steel versus titanium. Thank you a lot. Titanium is highly valued in the metals industry for its high tensile strength, as well as its lightweight, corrosion resistance, and ability to withstand extreme temperature. It's as strong as steel, but 40% lighter, and it's twice as strong. Okay, but what's the advantages of both? What's the advantages of using steel over titanium? Like, that's a very valuable material they have on hand. Okay, here it is. Okay. Titanium sheet producers. Thickness reductions require very high forces. Sheet metal thickness measurement tools and online thickness gauges are essential for process optimization. As much of a challenge this material is to roll, you don't want to do it twice. Steel is also widely used for its strength as well as flexibility. It is flexible in the mechanical sense, but also in terms of the wide variety of applications where it can be used. There are hundreds of different grades, thickness, and strengths of stainless steel, which are created by alloying steel with different elements. Martinistic or semi-austenitic steels are the strongest due to the additions of elements such as aluminium, copper, and niobium. Steel, yes, titanium is stronger and lighter, but that's a valuable and very careful process.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Yeah.
So it's like this, like, and even like I could have, like, I was actually at a point where it's like, okay, fine on that, and it's like, okay, titanium can do this and this, but why would you do that? Isn't that expensive and above the technological level of this nation? And yeah, okay, let's just move on.
Yeah.
Okay. A
small flying shields. It's your fast on their feet type. But remember, swordplay isn't a real needed skill. Well, not my level. As while I once managed to deflect a bullet shot at me. What?
What?
You managed to deflect a bullet?
How?
Do you realize how an insane amount of skill that requires?
You know that's anime levels?
Yeah.
So you literally made the Romans anime characters now.
Yeah. You deflect a bullet during a raid on a supply train. A bandit fired a bullet. You had your sword in the hand. So you got lucky and managed to ass bend your way to defending it.
You could cut a bullet in half. You could do it. But it's dumb. It's a bad idea in general.
You have a higher chance of deflecting an arrow with your sword than you do a bullet.
Yeah.
No thanks, Lieutenant.
Aren't you wearing bulletproof armor? You have armor?
But during the heat of battle, you need to be trained to be able to fight without succumbing to panic fire. So she says that she's seen people break in battle and fire out and just start spraying and praying. So you train them by hunting wild game. Why would you need training for it? You have guns. You made it clear upon multiple occasions that skill does not matter at all.
Yep, let's just go.
Yep. Wow, he's contradicting himself.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden he realized how much he wrote in the corner, and
Yeah. Okay, here's teammate Shino, Kiba, and Hinata.
oh good. So future wife.
Oh my god! So she's apparently born in part of the Empire where hunters are able to track animals by small imprints. So you what? Species, sex, its age, how fast it is traveling, whether it's alone within our animals, physical condition, weather, and once. Oh,
Of
okay.
course, Jossie was known as whatever.
Wow. Wow. How many of them?
So I got a question.
Yep.
Does this guy even like Naruto?
Doubt it.
Then why he wrote so many fanfics?
I don't know. You know, I made a banner quite a long while ago. I want you to look at what this says. Just look. Just keep looking.
Yeah, I would agree.
Nope. Keep going. It's over there.
Yeah. My Immortal. My Immortal we have to go through because that's delightfully bad.
But seriously, I said I will not read anything by Mad Hat 886. And this is why.
Yeah, this is so boring. It's so boring and stupid. It's boring yet stupid at the same time.
Oh my god, I don't want to. Yeah, this just seems more like he's doing the fan interpretation of how Naruto's life was, where he was constantly
Oh my
beaten
goodness.
up. Yeah, like how he was like beaten, abused.
So, what's going on? So, okay. So, what Hinata? So, what?
Hinata has a crush on him.
Of course, and what Kakashi is telling him about the whole Demon Fox thing.
No, I don't really care at this point. It seems it's going to be the entire preaching. You let Naruto live like this, and you didn't do anything.
Oh, loving. Yeah. Oh, they're going to his room.
No, she went to his room, saw how bad it was.
And then, the fourth is his father. Like, you know, I would actually, I think if...
Wait a minute, how did she come to that conclusion? How did she know that the fourth Hokage's son is here? How did she know that Naruto's the fourth Hokage's son? On what evidence did she learn? Who told her? Where did
so
she...
nobody knew about that, right? None of the chosen characters knew that he was the fourth Hokage's son?
None of the Naruto characters knew he was this. There were very few Naruto characters that actually knew he was the son of the fourth Hokage. But it's like looking over at this, it just feels that they're using, and they're going like, you don't know, blah 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 blah. Like you beat him, you.
And the butcher is on good terms with Jiraiya. Okay, fine. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, we totally killed these guys.
No, he was actually spying on them, and he saw what happened.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. Like, honestly, like, could we just end the series here? Like, there's.
Wait, no, never mind. He's still. Nope. 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 Never mind. Butcher did tell him.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh.
This is so. Join the Empire. Why aren't the Romans wanting these nations to join the Empire?
It's like, what would they have to offer?
Yeah, like, what are they going to offer to... Like, clearly, based on these technologies, they have, like, these very specialized technologies. And you would think that the Empire would evolve their diplomacy differently. Like it's just an alternate history where Rome became the Imperium of Man.
I would actually, the Imperium Man was more straight to the face than this. Like, they don't pretend.
Yeah, and at least we would be laughing, like having fun with this, like doing a bunch of 40K jokes.
Oh, it's like, either join us or die. There's your diplomacy. Join us
For the Emperor!
like there's your diplomacy. Join us or be considered traitors.
We are the Empire of Man. You're working with demons.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna scoop you.
Oh,
They're gonna eat you
no,
like
no.
an ice cream sandwich.
Oh no. What? No, you can't use the outer path. There is no scroll in the outer path. It's something that comes with Rinnegan.
Of course. They
Wait,
did
no.
this.
Never mind, it's Frank the Druid. He could do it. You wanna know why?
Mystery of the
The
Druids.
Druids.
They always have an attitude. It's a mystery of the Druids.
They
They
always
always have an attitude. The Druids are coming. The Druids are scary. The Scotland Yard
is getting away. The Halligan's coming to solve the quarrel. No matter how
illegal, corrupt, or immoral.
Yeah, no. To quote a character from that game, why through the power of the Druids, of course.
No. It's why through the powers of the Druids, of course. The Druids.
Yep. It would work better if this is a mystery of the Druid character. We should probably replace Frank with. We should probably replace Frank with Halligan.
Yes, Halligan the Druid. Yeah, this is the alternate. Like Halligan recreated the world using it became a Druid.
Yeah, what happened is that, but he still keeps Barb out of there just utterly insane. Like, his line of logic is still the same. It's like, hello, Butcher. And he just steals his cleaver because he says he's gonna need it, and then he forgets
I'm
about
gonna
it.
need it now. I mean, and then like also with his lunge, in order to initiate sex, he stabs her every single time, and the sex is the healing process.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so funny if we just did that. And Halligan just like. They also learned that Halligan's been racking up a pizza tab. Yeah, it's true. He's not supposed to believe in material goods, and they have to pay it for him. That's all. That's all. Well, when one of the Emperor's wives died, he immediately filed a report saying that the Emperor did it.
Yeah, because he needed to get into the Emperor's bathroom to get a toothbrush,
Yes.
so that he could use it to uncover something for a mystery.
That's it all. He also listen all. Oh, he has to, in order to get in, he has to know the guard's name, like his full name.
All 13 names. So what did he do? He kills another Druid to use a time turner so that he can figure out each of his names.
This sounds exactly like something that Halligan would do.
Of course, like we have a better fanfic about Halligan's adventures as a Druid.
Next stream, we're just gonna we're just gonna bring up a document and just write in like all the stupid things Halligan does in Roman Fox.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We would just go. You know what? We're done with the series. Wait, we already know what's gonna happen. Like,
Wait, we still need to go. Like, we still need to finish this entire fanfic. I do not want to leave this unfinished. So we'll be reading this thing to completion.
Could we just skim through it? Just go faster on overdrive?
Well, we're going faster now because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, blah 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 blah
Blah,
blah blah
blah,
blah
blah.
blah blah blah. Uh,
I have this ability.
uh, Naruto, he's got a taste for bacon. Well,
Of
yeah,
course.
bacon's bacon. You can't argue with bacon.
Yeah, bacon is the greatest meal of all time.
It's this joint's philosophy is quantity over philosophy over quality.
Quantity over quality. Oh, and soda was invented. Okay.
Soda, really? Okay.
It's either that or the hidden leaf at soda. Whatever. I don't care.
After the last bowl of the head, all I can taste is color anyway. So it's so bad.
It's just them eating.
It's just them complaining about their. It's them complaining about their rations.
It's them really. Could have this been where Naruto introduced ramen to them?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
The Romans were very skilled in alloys, as some alloys they created have lasted up to this time. Without a fall, they only gotten better. Oh, they have. Wait, you tell me this is the Roman, they have figured out how to mass-produce titanium, like how today it's easy to mass-produce steel. Mass-producing steel and mass-producing titanium are two separate things, my good friend.
Yeah, and also, steel production has always been a thing, even after the fall of the Roman Empire. Like that was the one technology that continued to advance at a normal rate.
They would just make different variations of steel. They wouldn't just, hey, we found this metal that's in small quantities, but hey, we can mass produce this shit. It's like, yeah, we got quite a lot of titanium now, but we can't mass produce it since that's an arduous process. Itself, the process is not cheap at all.
Yep.
They just stronger since the Romans been working with it for over 100 years. How did they figure it out? Down to mass produce it? They just did!
Of course.
As a tribe in South America figured out a way to work with platinum, which is hard to work with even with modern tools. How they did it is lost to history, as the Spanish and Conquistadors worked all the tribe members to death in search for gold. Just go with it. I refuse to go, just go with it.
Yeah, at this point, no, there's got to be more to it.
Deflecting a bullet by hanging aside with something made out of metal like it's some fiction, the thinking is sound, but you should never try it in real life. Well, thank you for pointing out how stupid that is.
Thank you for that. So, it's a rare skill nowadays.
But there are people who can track animals and people that good.
Okay.
The Druid's magic can bring the person back to life. Why?
How?
Through the magic of the Druids.
Yeah, through the magic of the Druids. Through the magic of the Druids.
They just sent out a Druid. Druid the god was for it. He just pours some salt on his hand and then tosses at it. And it collapses.
And then stabs his wife with a hedge clippers.
No, a broken pair of hedge clippers.
Broken pair of hedge clippers.
It doesn't matter how long the person has been. As long as they're a body, which has to be creating a piece of the real body to do so, and it doesn't matter how long a person has been dead. Oh my god. You know, this reminds me of that D&D spell, which will allow you to resurrect anybody. But the problem is you can only resurrect them if they haven't been dead for a very long time. Like, some 10 days, you have a 10 days to resurrect someone. And if they have been dead for longer than that, you cannot. But no, they can just do it.
Yep, whatever.
But it has never lasted more than an hour before the body is broken apart. Which makes bringing back the person back to life is to find out if they know who killed them. What?
Okay. It's more like it's easier just to bring out their spirits, but whatever. Okay.
No, you can't do that with Minato. You can't do that with Minato. He belongs to the Shinigami.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Minato's gone. You cannot bring back Minato.
Yep, okay, so number 5.
Sandwiches are completely unknown to the elemental countries, as they have buns instead, and a bun is a piece of bread with other food stuff in it. It's completely different from an actual sandwich.
Who flipping cares? Buns are basically bread cooked differently.
Yeah. The first drinkable glass of soda was made by Joseph Priestley, a minister, philosopher, and friend of Benjamin Franklin. In 1767, Priestley lived in Leeds, England, right next door to a brewery, which you might think sounds wonderfully convenient, but actually means that most things in your house end up smelling of yeast and malt. Although, if you've ever been to Leeds, you'll know your clothes smelling of yeast pretty much makes you posh. Actually, in Leeds, clothes pretty much make you posh. Priestley was given permission to perform scientific experiments about the vats in the brewery, a flagrant violation of modern health codes, but apparently not frowned upon at the time. He found that when he held a bottle of water above the brewery gases, which he called an claled fixed air, they infused water, making it bubbly. Priestley slightly shared his new beverage with his friends, but he didn't realize or didn't care about its money-making potential. Well, the creation of soft drinks will have to wait for future and more financially motivated innovators.
That's actually cool. That's
Yeah.
this is the first bit that I actually learned something cool.
Huh, that's actually a pretty cool fact. The ones in my fix discovered its added flavors to it. It started the soda phrase, as soda lasts a long time in glass bottles. The Romans are around Civil War era tech, but their tech is much different as there's electrical power, full metal like replacement body parts, the main power steam.
Yeah. We get it. We get it.
As Romans did have a steam engine, but it was more like a lava lamp than a tool. So someone got the idea to use it to power a machine, and set the have to trade with China, which used rockets as a weapon.
So basically, he's just explaining how they got the weapons they have.
How did they go from... Okay, the rockets are very primitive. They're essentially glorified fireworks.
Yeah, and not very effective for a long time.
Like, it took quite a while before rockets was actually something you would viably use. But problem is, you could not... But yes, you launched multiples of them. Is it right? You should have just made them the Empire made from Warhammer Fantasy. Their technology is far more believable.
Yep. At this point, it's just becoming more and more prevalent that
the Roman trade network brought together the goods, the skills, and languages from India to Britain and from Baltic to Sahara. So they'll have some tech that one wouldn't see in Civil War era as their empire never fell apart. The Civil War era tech is just the baseline of what the normal Roman lives, while those living in major trade ports and cities enjoy more steampunk level tech. You could have just said you could have said that their technology is more steampunk.
Yeah, you could have said that, but no, we had to say Civil War era.
Which in truth would actually be Industrial Revolution. In fact, Industrial Revolution was actually where steampunk derived from.
Or more, I would say more accurate, steampunk, the way he's using it, steampunk is more associated with the Victorian era, late Victorian era.
Yeah.
Like turn of the century.
Yeah. Like that would make more sense if he went with the steampunk as a baseline. That way would be as questioning, since steampunk you could do quite a bit of crazy thing with it.
Yeah, and just makes me not rack my brain out for stupid historical inaccuracies.
But then he has to go ahead and say Civil War era, which really you should say Industrial Revolution era. But even then, you'll still be applying yourself to a lot of baselines that you have to understand. The Industrial Revolution was what led to the modern age.
Mm-hmm. And so that's unfair. Like, again, this story would have been better if it was ancient Rome with the Greek gods and all the mythology. Ancient Rome with the Roman gods and all the mythology surrounding Rome, fighting in invading the world of Naruto.
I can think of I thought of a story once where I'd use where their designs for everything was very like there was a faction whose designs were very Greco, very Greek designs, and they use swords and shields and stuff, and it's sci-fi, but it's sci-fi swords and shields. So don't be surprised that they say get out the spear, and then the spear shoots a laser.
Yeah, and or again, as we actually talked earlier in this, is talking about the idea of the Legion of the Ninth just showing up in the world of Naruto.
Yeah, the Ninth League. It's literally you could have just made a Space Marine thing. Anyway, everybody, this was the longest stream I've had so far. So, everyone, thank you to Holy Ninja for showing up.
Yay!
Do you think you want to be suffering more next time?
I don't know. I don't know. I do want to have fun with D&D with some friends. But maybe.
Yeah. So, anyways, everyone. See you.
It's past your bedtime.